Alright, hello again. This is a different recording session from the last one, and I don't exactly remember how I ended the last one, so I'm saying hello again. I did the first two recordings, like, back to back, and then it's been 2 days since then, so this is being recorded 2 days after the last one. And, I took that time to, start recording, or adding the background music to the first two parts. Did it for all the first part, started the second part. And it seems from the way that I'm editing that, at least the first two recordings are going to be one video, which is 3.5 hours long. And I still haven't decided whether I'm going to put all of this together in one video, or if it's going to be like 2 parts, or maybe even 3 parts. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this. Right. I guess I can continue now. This is Mailing, Hong Mailing. To this day, I don't know if Mailing's her first or last name. So just call her Hong Mailing. I like Mailing. She's got a very nice design, a very nice hat. She's got reddish, orangish hair. It kind of changes from dark red to kind of orangey red, depending on the depiction. This one's more light red. But for a while, Mailing kind of suffered from same joke syndrome, where in a lot of stuff, her thing was she sleeps, and then Saki gets mad about that, and then she punishes her, and that's the joke. But I don't know, when she gets to be more than that, she's pretty great, because when I can tell, when the SDM does hijinks and stuff, she's normally like the most level-headed one, who kind of has to deal with everyone being a bit cuckoo, and that's great. And then, Mailing as she actually is, and canon, I guess, she's kind of, pretty chill gate guard. You can go up and talk to her, and she make nice conversation and stuff, and she does martial arts, which is pretty cool, but unfortunately in a series where everyone shoots bullets, being able to punch people isn't that great, except for the games where everyone decides that instead of shooting bullets at each other, they're going to punch each other for some reason. Never really explained why the fighting games are like that, but they are. So she gets to do that, and apparently, funny thing about that is she was in like 7.5 as like a bonus character, and apparently she was terrible. But then she came back in 12.3, which is the one everyone likes, and she's decent from what I know. So it's great. You get to see her punching and kicking stuff. Sometimes she wears pants and sometimes she doesn't. But yeah, Mailing. I've just started here. I'm not all there, if I'm being honest. I woke up and did my stuff for the morning. I didn't eat breakfast because sometimes when I wake up, I feel a bit not all there in the stomach, and I know if I eat some cereal, I'm going to probably get sick. So I haven't eaten this morning. And I kind of woke up not too long ago, so you need to give me a couple minutes to actually think here. Maybe I'll get back into the groove, or maybe I won't. But anyway, Mailing, she's pretty great. She's gonna be pretty high up there. But again, can't think at the moment. But she's great. Trust me. She's very similar to Komachi. It's kind of funny how that is. They both have like a sleeping gimmick, and they're both like tall, red-headed characters. Shion is Blue Moko. Like this joke. Except she really does. Like look at that. But no, I've never really cared about the Yorigamis that much. The funniest thing about them is that you can compare them to Wario and Waluigi. So Shion is Waluigi. Isn't that great? But no, she becomes friends with Tenchi or something. So I guess that's nice. And I don't know, like, Jun's League has the funny things of, like, she goes around punching people, so that's funny, but Shion just, I don't know, she's just kind of the other one of the two. It's like, I don't know, she's like a goddess of poverty, so she kind of, like, is in a perpetual state of being hungry and cold, and it's just like, why would you just created a character for the sake of suffering, haven't you? That is certainly unfortunate. So, a lot of people like her because of pity, but, not really my favorite character. But, you know, she's fine. She's got a little cat thing that she carries around. That's neat. On again. She's great. Dayusei. You know, the ironic thing is I say a character is barely a character multiple times, and I've said that I accidentally just saved that. Whoops. And really that doesn't mean much of anything. It's just kind of a throwaway sentence I've said a couple times, so don't take it really that seriously. But Dayusei literally isn't a character because she's a sprite, and then all of her character is from fan stuff. So from what I can tell, she's Chirno's buddy, and she follows Chirno around, and they're great friends, and then she's friends with other people that are friends with Chirno. And then she's like the cautious one, because Chirno is really I don't know what's the word. She really gets into shit when she probably shouldn't, and Dayusei's like, you know, you probably shouldn't do that, and Chirno's like, I can do it, and Dayusei's like, okay, I'll follow you, I guess. This is a really bad idea, Chirno. I don't know, Chirno. I don't know. What was the stupid voice I gave her in Keifu? It was just like something like this, like, Chirno, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't know, she's normally pretty great and stuff, but yeah. Kagero. The wolf. So that makes her one of the dog Touhous. Probably my least favorite of the dog Touhous, but you know, I like all of them, so you know, it's not really saying much, but yeah. She's a werewolf, so when it becomes the full moon, she gets really hairy, and she really doesn't like that she gets very hairy. She's very self-conscious about it, so don't bring it up. And she tried to eat a fish once and then realized that the fish was actually a mermaid. She became friends with the mermaid. This is a great origin story. And then at some point they became friends with the headless horseman, headless redhead. And they're a group of 3 goofballs, and that's like 90% of this character is she's with the mermaid, and most of the time she's with the mermaid, she's with the other one too. You know, she's neat. She does the woo thing when you fight her. That's always great. I made a fucking cursed video with her once, where I had her fight, and I changed the music to be a Pepper Coyote song about having sex with a werewolf. It's a thing I did. Shinky is great. I don't remember anything she says in the actual Mystic Square. I think there's some weird thing where, like, when you fight Shinky, she, like, fucking destroys the world or something in her fight, and then it goes back to normal again. Something weird like that. But Shinky, she created everything in the Makais or something, or at least the parts of Makai that's in Touhou 5. I don't know if she created Hokai and all that shit, or if that was already there in Makai, and she just went to Makai and created all the stuff there. I don't know. The point is, Shinky isn't much of a character in the actual games, but it doesn't matter because in fan stuff she's great because she's Alice's mom. She's technically every character in Makai's mom, but you know, Alice is small in Mystic Square, so that is the one that they focus on. And I mean, I've seen this in a lot of stuff, but it's very great in mainly Fantasy Maiden Wars, where she is Alice's overdoting, very embarrassing mother, and it's great to see. And Yumeko and Alice have to deal with her being a goofball. She's a goofball, and she's really powerful. It's great when the really powerful characters, it's contrasted with their goofiness. You know, it's pretty great. I kind of hope you guys show up later. I really don't want to talk about you right now. Alright, so I'm gonna talk about both of them, so I don't have to talk about the other one when they show up. So Watatsuki no Toyo Hime and Watatsuki no Yori Ime. They're from Silent Sinner and Blue, the worst manga, where, you know, they you know, after the plot stuff with the rabbit happens, you know, they become into the plot, and then, you know, they talk to the rabbit for a while, and then Reimu and crew, they go to the moon, and then they fight Yorihime, and then they all lose immediately, because the thing about Yorihime is, she has a couple abilities. The most well-known one is the fact that, she does what Reimu does, but better. Because apparently Reimu can, like, channel gods to fight or something, even though, has she even done that since Silent Sinner and Blue? Most of the time when Reimu channels gods or whatever, she just uses it to, like, bless things in the manga. She doesn't really... I can't really think of any times where she's directly summoned gods for the sake of fighting. Just one of those things that gets brought up, and it's like, you can use this and stuff, but it's not being brought up again. But yeah, Yorihime does that, but better, because she's older and trains more or something. But that's not really the dumb thing about Yorihime. The dumb thing about Yorihime is she has another ability, which is apparently she can understand like anything almost instantly without really having to like think about it that much, or really like, I guess, go through any sort of hardships to understand what's going on. And that's what happens in Silent Sinner and Blue. She beats everyone almost instantly because they do a move and she's like, I immediately understand what just happened and I can now counter it. And it's like, wow, that's the finale of this manga, huh? She just two-shots people. It's like one of those, what do they call them, isekais? I don't know, watch anime. Don't they have a problem where they have really boring main protagonists who just like beat the villains in like 2 hits? It's really uninteresting. Yeah, just because it's not the protagonist doing that, it doesn't suddenly make it interesting. But yeah, it's really boring. And then the other one, she's there. I think she like, you know, why Yorihime does that, she goes and stops Yukari. But not really, because it was Yukari's plan to get caught or something, because the big goal of that entire thing was it was all set up so Yuyuko could fucking steal some alcohol or something, because that would intimidate Eren or something. Except, you know all those times where since Silent Sinner and Blue, where, Eren talks about that one time she got intimidated by Yukari and how it's, changed her plans and stuff. Except that's never happened ever, so, like, the entire point of Silent Sinner and Blue is just like, what was the point at all? But yeah, she stops Yukari, and then apparently the Moon people, they have this super rope that you can't break. Because that's how physics works. And like Yorihime, her ability is some other character's ability, but better. It's Komachi's ability, where she can, like cross any distance immediately, but it's better because she's stronger. And then, apparently, I learned this recently, she has another ability that, like, Eren talks about at some point in the Runegate book that I remember nothing about besides Moko's backstory. She has such good luck, kind of like Tenchi, I guess, but it's even better than Tenchi's, because she has such good luck that she will never experience any hardship in her life, and she will be good at everything. A great character. And she looks really generic. Like, at least Yorihime, she looks like Mera, and that's it. But, like, this character, she's just, like, fucking put her in Yukari's clothes, and you won't be able to tell the fucking difference. I remember in Keifu, the last, like, big arc of that game is about you going to the fucking moon to do the first Lunar War, and these two are there, and they are written perfectly in character, which means they're absolutely insufferable, and I had to read all their dialogue, and I decided, I don't want to be the most bored person in the fucking world and just drone on with dialogue from characters I don't care about, so I made a really stupid joke. Where the thing is, Keifu, it takes place in, like, an alternate universe or whatever, where the story is slightly different, and, like, there are differences, like, Byakuren gets sealed 100 years ago instead of 1,000 and other stuff. So I conflated that to, Lost Word. Lost Word, what it likes to do is it likes to, take a character and make him look, and put him in an alternate universe and make him act different, and talk different, and look different. So basically they're an entirely different character, but you can say they're the same character and market them because alternate universes. So I decided I was gonna do something like that with these two. Huh, kitten? Yep. This kitten. I really hope this kitten grows out of constantly whining all the time. Oh my god. But the joke was I made the Mario and Luigi. You had Yorio Watatsuki and Toyoiji, Watatsuki. They come from an alternate universe where Brooklyn was founded by the fucking Roman Empire over 1,000 years ago, so they come from ancient Brooklyn, and they were chosen by the moon to save Princess Kaguya from Space Bowser. Hire me, lost word. But yeah, I had to make, it was a stupid joke, and I did, terrible Mario and Luigi impressions, the ones from the Super Show. I'm not gonna attempt to do that right now, I'm not all there. But, yeah, that was me trying to keep myself entertained while these two boring characters were extremely important to the plot. And their theme, it's called, like, Watatsuki's Spell Card or whatever. It's one of the, like, the most meh character themes someone's ever written. It's just like, and I don't have it on hand. So what I'm probably gonna do for when I'm talking about these two is I'm probably gonna put Mario music on the whole time, because that's funny and it's better. So yeah. But yeah, despite saying all that, despite the fact that I'm not going to talk about Yorihime at all, because I already talked about her here, Yorihime is probably going to be at least one spot ahead of this one, because Yorihime at least has the potential to be kind of cool if you take away her bullshit of she can instantly defeat you, because she can instantly tell what you're doing and then counter it immediately. If you take that out, like a lot of fan games do, where she makes her an actual boss fight that you can beat. Except, you know, she's not actually at her full power. She didn't really beat her, but, you know, at least you got a fight out of her. Can't really think of many games where you actually fight Toyohime. It's mainly just Yorihime. But, you know, she swings a sword, and she, you know, can, like, channel powers, god powers. So what I'm saying is Yorihime has potential to sometimes be interesting. This character doesn't really have much of anything. So there you go. 0 is better than negative. This bitch. This is the other Mai. I find it funny that of all the characters where another character just stole the name of another character, it was Mai. I feel like there might be a reason for that. I think Zun might be trying to erase this character from existence because she's fucking awful. It's impressive, really. This character has almost nothing, and the only thing she has is awful. So her theme is it's called Judas's Kiss, because she's a backstabbing bitch. Because when you fight Yuki and Mai in Mystic Square, you fight them both at the same time, and depending on which one you happen to shoot at the last bit, they'll blow up, and then you fight the other one by themselves. So you see, beat Yuki. If you beat Mai first and you fight Yuki, Yuki's like, man, how could you do that to my friend? I will avenge her. And it does that thing where it acts like you just killed her, even though you didn't. I don't think you kill anyone in PC-98 either, but, you know, shit talking Touhou. It happens. She's really upset. So Yuki thinks Mai is her buddy. She gets really upset when her buddy gets taken down. And so you do that, and you're like, man, you know, like, they must be good friends or something. Yuki seems to think so. But then if you do the other thing, you take down Yuki first, Mai's just like, okay, thanks for taking her down. She was slowing me down. Now I can actually, like, fight better. And it's just like, oh, so you don't like Yuki at all, and you just, I don't know, pretend to like her enough to where she thinks you like her, but you're really just a bitch. So, yeah, this character's probably gonna be pretty far down because she has no positives and only negatives. That's a negative score. Fuck off! What has been the timing in these fucking sorters? Oh, great. Q. I was really hoping you'd show up later. I'm kind of fucking tired here, and I don't know if I could do what I wanted to do when Aki showed up. I'll talk about Aki for a bit, but I wanted to talk about Aki's book to use as a springboard to complain about Touhou lore. Not really complain, just there's parts of Touhou lore that confuse me, and it confuses me why it seems to confuse no one else. Right, Aki, she's pretty great. Her backstory is pretty metal because yep, kitten, can you hear that? I don't know. He's in the other room. Now he's whining. How much will he whine during this recording? Who knows? He's really going at it now. IQ, our thing is that, I think she's like the 9th one where basically Aki is the same person. Her spirit's the same person, where she gets reincarnated like every like 100 years or so. She has like a deal with the Yama, where ever since the first one, they'd live like a shortened human lifespan of like 30 something years or so, and then they'd die, and then they'd work for the Yama for like 100 years. In exchange for that, they'd be reincarnated again. And Aki's the ninth one, and I think she has the ability of she basically can remember. She has perfect memory, I think, and she uses that in order to write the Gensokyo Chronicle, which is the main thing of her deal with the Yama, because she's really important because she writes the Gensokyo Chronicle to catalog yokai and stuff so that humans know how to protect themselves from it. And I think she also like writes some of her past memories and stuff. So even though she can remember, she has a perfect memory of her own life. She can't remember her past lives, but I think she writes some of like her own life in there so that she can read about her past stuff, her past lives. You know, that's neat. But so yeah, she has a really cool backstory, and she's a pretty cool character. She's in Forbidden Scrollery a lot. She's friends with Kozuzu. They were the best part of that manga. I haven't read it in a while, so I can't really give too many specific examples, but yeah, Aki herself, she's pretty great. But, I'm going to complain about Touhou Lord for, like, a minute. I really wish this would have happened later, so I would have been able to, like, wake up a bit and collect my thoughts more, but here you go. I'm about to complain about Touhou Lord a bit. I'm pretty ignorant of stuff, so if some of my complaints have answers that I don't know about, there you go. Alright, so at its core, you know, Touhou, it's about Zun taking, like, mythological stuff and other stuff, basically whatever the hell he wants, and he takes it and he puts it in the form of a Touhou, and the Touhou is a cute girl, and when you fight when they're in the games, they shoot bullets at you, and the bullets are beautiful and themed after the stuff they're based on and stuff and all that stuff, you know? That's what the core of Touhou is Zun takes things he likes, turns it into Touhou character that's based on things that he used it to base on, and then that's what Touhou is at its core. Zun takes things, he takes things, turns things into girl. That is a basic thing Touhou is. So it just really confuses me why, if that's the basics of Touhou, why would you make the like most important piece of lore in the entire series, the one that basically the entirety of Gensokyo will be based on the fact that it's vitally important that these mythological creatures and shit that you've turned into cute girls, humans need to be absolutely fucking terrified of them or they disappear. Because it's like, being a cute girl makes it a lot harder for people to be terrified of you because you don't look scary. And looking scary is very important if you want people to be scared of you. So, and this is, you know, shown with Kogasa, where she's fucking starving and has like motivational issues because she can't scare anyone. And it's like, is that not a problem for everyone else? It's because it makes it to where like you have to ask a question that probably doesn't have an answer, which is, why are all these mythological beings, why do they look like this? Well, there's two humans on the screen, so, you know, I can't really show that, but, you know, it's like, why do they look like that? And the answer is there is no reason. It's because it's the gimmick of Touhou, and it's not an important it shouldn't be an important question, but it is, because now it's actively hindering what they're trying to do. So now you're in a bit of a predicament of, okay, all these yokai, they need the humans to be scared of them, but like they don't look scary. So you gotta do some stuff to make people scared of you. So I guess you could just attack them. It's the whole like humans fucking or yokai fucking attack and eat humans thing. That lore. So I guess that's the solution. Is that they don't look scary, just fucking kill people. Except you can't do that either. Because in Gensokyo, you're not allowed to attack the human villagers, so you can't kill them. So I guess they like attack and kidnap them. That's a thing I think they do. They like do play kidnappings, or like the shrine maiden is supposed to go save them or something. So I guess that's how they do fear. Except I don't even know if they do that anymore, because I can't think of a single example of it happening in like current canon. So I don't even know if they do that anymore. So it's just like, And even if they do, at some, like, I know the human villagers, they're kind of, like, purposely not that smart, but at some point you have to be like, you know, every time these yokai, they haven't killed, like, any of us, ever? You notice that? Isn't it kind of weird how, like, we're all terrified of them, but, like, they never seem to kill any of us? So, from what I can tell, Touhou's, like, answer to that is the way they make the human villagers scared of the yokai that aren't scary is, through a web of lies, propaganda, and bullshit. And that's why it's very important that the Tengu, they control the information through their newspaper bullshit that sounds very inefficient, but somehow controls the information, and it makes it to where, I guess, since the humans only get information from the Tengu, I guess the Tengu they say shit that makes them be all scared of the characters that aren't scary. And then this is where Akio comes in with her book, because, like in Sokyo Chronicle, because the first, like, fucking 8 generations of Akio, the point of that book was, you know, it's supposed to be a guide for humans to defend themselves from yokai, but by the time Akio comes around, she's in Gensokyo, and Gensokyo has been established for quite a while, and the thing about Gensokyo is that none of the humans are actually in any danger from the yokai, because they're not allowed to kill them, and it's very important that the humans fear the yokai. So I'm pretty sure the whole point of Akio's, like, book is that, you know, it would be very suspicious if, Akio didn't write the Gensokyo Chronicle, because then the humans would be like, wait, if we're supposed to be scared of the yokai, why is the person who writes the books is supposed to protect us from the yokai no longer writing things? So Akio still writes the Gensokyo Chronicle as a guide, even though the humans don't really need it. But also, I'm pretty sure the main, like, point behind Akio's book nowadays, and my main, like, remembrance of this is from, I think, a scene in Forbidden Scrolly where Kozuzu's like, you know, Akio, I don't think these yokai, I don't think they're that bad. I think we could maybe be friends with them or something. And Akio's like, no, Kozuzu, no. No, Kozuzu. You don't understand. The yokai, they are very evil, and we must fear them, and that is the way it must be forever, okay? So, like, Akio... So, like, from what I can tell from that scene, is the big point of what she writes in her books, the Gensokyo Chronicle, is, she tries to make the yokai more scary than they actually are, because it's important that the yokai are scary, because if they're not scary, they don't exist anymore. So Akio, as a writer, when it comes to her books, she's a biased writer. And a lot of like, when it comes to shit she has no reason to lie about, her books are probably a pretty accurate source of information. But when things she's clearly biased about, you have to, like, wonder how much she's saying is true and how much she's embellishing stuff for a certain agenda. And you know she lies about some of the stuff, because at one point she talks about how fairies are fucking terrible little shits who will push your baby down a fucking cliff and kill them because they're just fucking awful. Akio hates fairies, and fairies probably don't do that. So Akio clearly fucking lies in a book when she wants to. And, you know, the thing is, if one of the main points of her book nowadays is to try to make the yokai scary, because it's important that they're scary, because that's the balance of Gensokyo or some shit, I just feel like a lot of the shit she writes about yokai is probably pretty biased and not entirely true. And just the things I find annoying about her books, is that when people talk about Gensokyo and how it's actually this super fucking scary place where, if you end up there, you get killed fucking instantly. A lot of it's, from what I can tell, it's just based on Aki's fucking book, which is a biased source. Because you have that, thing, that fucking piece of lore, which I'm pretty sure is only from her book, where there's, like, the road of reconsideration or something, where basically, suicidal humans, they get brought there, and then while they're walking there, they'll like, slowly begin to, gain the will to live again, and the entire time they're there, they'll be stalked by yokai, and right at the moment where they gain the will to live again, they get fucking eaten. They get attacked and probably slowly killed to get as much fear as possible or something. So that's the thing that Aki wrote in her book. She actually, I think, this might be wrong, but I think the other thing that's only from her book is the whole thing where if an outsider ends up in Gensokyo, they will be killed immediately unless they make it to Reimu, in which case Reimu will bring them home, or they will make them a member of the human village, I guess. and I don't know, judging by the fact that Akio is a very, you know, biased author with a very clear agenda, I just kind of read that and it's just like, you know, maybe that's 100% true, but maybe that's Akio's way of going, hey, you see that girl over there, the one that's got like animal ears and a tail and doesn't look remotely scary at all. It's very important that you are fucking terrified of her because she may not look scary at all, but trust me, she will go to a place called the Road of Reconsideration. Well, she'll prey on very vulnerable humans and violently kill them in their most vulnerable moments because they're just fucking evil, right? And then when I know it may look weird that none of the human villagers ever get killed, but trust me, when outsiders show up, they just fucking kill them all the time. And look, I'm not saying like any of that's not how it works, but I just find it annoying how when everyone talks about Gensokyo, it's like acted like it's complete and 100% fact. This is how it's worked because Aki said it, and Aki's a very biased writer. But anyway, that was just 5 minutes of me complaining about shit that's confusing and it's just kind of annoying about Aki's books. I like Reimu a bit more than Aki. I like Aki a lot though. She's gonna be pretty high. This is a frog, except she's not a frog. She just really likes frogs. This is Suiko. What do you want to say about Suiko? Her theme is a mess. There's a piano fucking slamming on the keyboard. Ugh. Man, I'm glad I decided to do 13 instead of 10 and didn't have to end up playing that. Yeah. Sorry. Like I said, I'm not all there in the stomach. I'm probably gonna get pretty hungry at some point. But you know, the Suiko, she's fine. She's normally just like a cute little frog girl. She's got this thing where, you know, she's really old and she's kind of given up on people believing in her because people don't believe in gods nowadays. But then Kaneko, she's got some ideas for how to gain faith, and Sumako's like, okay, you do what you want, and hopefully it works out, but if it doesn't, oh well. So she's kind of resigned herself to, she's probably going to stop existing at some point, but she, you know, she's pretty chill with it, so, you know, this is an air of complexity to a, on the surface seems to be a pretty simple character. But, and, you know, she's most of the time when I see her, she's just a goofy frog. Sega's, fucking, oh god. Yeah, so, the thing about Sega is she's, like, one of the most, like, objectively evil characters in this series, but, like, she doesn't really do anything. So she just kind of sticks around and exists. I accidentally saved it again. Woohoo! There's no reason for me to do that, because when I go and load the page again, I just load it, so what's even the point of that link? Who knows? But yeah, she made Yoshika so she basically just took someone who was dead and I guess like denied them their afterlife or something, because Yoshika's a zombie. She's not a mindless zombie, but she's not all there in the head because her brain is rotting, and she just uses her as like a servant, and that's you know, pretty fucked up. But you know, she treats her like a pet and like fawns over her, I guess. So it's not really disturbing, except it is. And then she has really fucking weird lore that I just like, what the hell? She like makes weird fucking black magic out of fetuses or something. It's like, what the hell are you even talking about? But I guess the most like notable thing about this character is that she apparently is the one who taught Miko Taoism, and Miko, and you know, she's so despicable, but despite the fact that fact, Miko doesn't even want to be around her, because nobody wants to be around this character. She's just, and she calls herself Sega Nyan Nyan, because he's a weirdo. She has like her backstory is apparently about how she abandoned her family so she could pursue like dark magic or something, but yeah, I don't know. She's just an intentionally despicable character, so, but it's not that bad because she doesn't go around killing people, I guess, which is what I guess some of the yokai characters do, apparently, according to the stupid lore that may or may not be true, I don't know. Anyway, Frog. Right, I think you're the only character from 19 who hasn't shown up yet. This character's fucking hilarious. she just she's a pretty one-note character. She is obsessed with Zanmu to a very unhealthy degree, and her entire story in 19 is she's basically the reason that fucking Zanmu's grand bullshit plans didn't go to plan, because she wanted to ruin them so that Zanmu would yell at her. Because she likes getting scolded, and she really likes Zanmu, and she's a joke character. Her joke is that she's a fucking weirdo, and she's funny. But you know, at the end of the day, being funny only gets you so far. Does it get you farther than Hatate though? Sure. Megamoo, right? The fourth fucking Tengu, right? Yeah, I think I said this when talking about Ai and Hatate. I don't think the representation of the Tengu is very interesting in Touhou, because, you know, there's apparently a bunch of different types of them, and they have a whole, like, society structure with multiple levels, and all this stuff. And what is your representation? Your representation is a wolf that's not a character, it's a sprite whose only characterization is that she likes playing shogi or something, and 3 crow Tengu, 2 of which are basically do the same thing. And then the third one, Megamoo, she's the boss of the crow Tengu, apparently. But all she does in 18 is she has a money-making scheme with cards, which doesn't really show her doing anything to lead the Tengu at all. So I don't exactly know how high up the rank Megamoo is. She might be like right below Tenma rank or something, but that's the thing I got wrong, by the way. I said that Tenma is a guy. Apparently that's not actually confirmed anywhere, and I was confusing that with Keifu, where he is a guy. So, you know, maybe Tenmu will show up someday, or maybe they won't. An interesting Tengu character. That'd be great. Instead we got this one. I don't know, I just find, and then she's in Lotus Eaters, and then it's like, okay, this is Aya's boss now, so now Aya has to listen to her, and it's like, that's fucking lame. I love it when characters I like have to take orders from characters I don't give a shit about. That's great. And I don't even fucking remember what the character does. She like under her orders, the Tengu like fucking got red dust on the snow or something, and that caused a snow festival. I don't remember. It wasn't very interesting. She said Among Us. That was the most interesting thing about that. She said Among Us. But yeah, just it's a very uninteresting character, because like here's this character that represents this, but all she's gonna do is make get rich quick schemes and not really do anything interesting, and now Aya has to listen to her, and that's really annoying. And also she carries her on a tripod, because apparently in Tengu society, the higher in rank you are, the more outdated your camera technology is. That makes sense. And she's got a funny hat, but all the Tengu have funny hats, but hers is blue. I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. It's kind of weird. Eika, she is a small babu who stacks stones, and she's pretty great. She's also jellyfish. She's got weird ears, despite her fucking terrible fate. She's pretty happy. She's pretty happy and bubbly all the time, because she's based off a really, you know, Touhou just like it's a kind of a fucking melting pot of random mythologies and shit. And sometimes you have to wonder, should you really have added that? Because now that's part of your lore, and why would you make that part of your lore? So there's apparently some fucking something in Japanese mythology where if you're a kid and you die before your parents, that's really bad. So you're forced to stack stones on the fucking river for all of eternity, because whoever came up with that really didn't like kids. So that's what Eika's based on. She's forced to fucking stack stones on the side of the river for all eternity with a bunch of kids who did nothing wrong, and that's just part of your lore now. So I guess in Touhou's lore, if you die before your parents, that's what you do now. Cool. Cool. But, you know, Eika herself, she's great. I already talked about Ringo, didn't I? Yeah, this was recorded 2 days later, so hopefully I don't accidentally talk about a character twice. Hopefully I can remember. I mean, I've edited over the entirety of the first video, so everyone talked about the first video, I should remember, but I haven't fully gone over the second video yet, so hopefully I don't do that. Komachi. She's pretty great, I guess. Kind of similar to Mei Ling, the whole sleeping thing, although, I don't know, it's less used like a joke and stuff, and more used like a character, like, just something she does sometimes, rather than the entire joke of her character, like it is with Mei Ling a lot of the time. But, you know, Komachi's great. She's with Eiki, and they have a nice dynamic there, where, you know, Eiki, she tries to get Komachi to listen and do stuff, but Komachi, she's kind of lazy, so sometimes she doesn't do it, and then Eiki gets very mad about that. One thing I do wish would happen, though, is, you know, in 17, they added, like, what, like 3 characters that live on the Sanzu now, and, one of them literally works for Eiki, the chicken, and you figured, Komachi would maybe put with those characters some more, so she'd have more than just Eiki to talk to, but from what I can tell, that's not really a thing, and I think there's something could be done, interesting could be done there, but I've yet to see it. You know, Komachi, she also has a giant scythe. That's pretty cool. She, like, and she's in a fighting game, so, you know, she hits people with a scythe, and that's pretty cool. Letty White Rock is... This is Letty White Rock. In first stage boss, Touhou 7. She's like a yokai, a winter yokai or something. I think she's based on the Snow Woman thing, whose name I can't remember. It's what Frost Lass is based off of, I think. But yeah, apparently she's one of those characters. This character's actually really powerful if you put him in the right setting, but she's a stage 1 boss right now. Because apparently she has complete dominion over Winter, so she's really powerful and stuff. But you don't see that because she's a stage 1 boss, so she has really simple spell cards. And this character doesn't have much since 7. But she is in fan stuff a lot because she's friends with Chirno, because Chirno is the mid stage of her stage. She's the mid boss of her stage, so that means they're friends. That's how it works with Touhou. And you know, she just, you know, you keep Chirno and her gang of friends, and then Letty's there, and she's normally the one who's like, you know, the adult who has to deal with a bunch of children running around, and it's pretty great. It's a pretty great dynamic. Sunny Milk. One of, like, 4 characters with orange hair in this series, except for the times when people make her blonde for some reason. It's not blonde. Whatever. Sunny Milk is great, because I like 3 fairies, and Sunny Milk is one of the 3 fairies. And when I rank the 3 fairies, she would probably be the one that gets the highest, simply because she has orange hair. But, yeah, you know, I can't really think of too much about Sunny Milk by herself when it's not related to the other 2. But, you know, she's like... She's the leader of the group, you know her well. Something, kick some tail. So she's normally the one that instigates the stuff. And then, you know, hijinks happen. The 3 fairies are basically the Ed, and Eddie of Touhou. So I guess she's the Eddie. But yeah, another character who's going to end up pretty high, but I can't really think of too many things to talk about her right now. I talked about tomorrow, didn't I? Jun. Like I said with Shion, don't really care about these 2 that much, but Jun, she punches people, and that's funny. She also has orange hair, except she kind of has brown hair here, because orange is a shade of brown, apparently. It's a very distinct shade of orange. It's a very distinct shade of brown that you can clearly tell isn't the same as the other brown, but apparently it's close enough to where if your character has orange hair, she's just gonna have brown hair sometimes. So Jun, she sometimes has brown hair, and then Suika, she has brown hair in her fighting game sprite. And a bunch of other sprites, pretty sure she has brown hair in Puppet Dance. But yeah, this is Jun. She went to hang out with Byakuran's crew for a while, because Byakuran's crew needed more people, I guess. And, you know, that's sometimes shown and stuff, but most of the time not really. Jun's just kind of a character that's drawn by herself, either by herself or with her sister a lot of the time. And unlike her sister, she isn't, like, she didn't gain a friend at any point. but like her entire thing is that she's a pestilence goddess or something, so she makes people want to spend all their money, but she's at least nice enough to where she doesn't make the people she's preying on go broke. And but at the end of the day, you don't want to be around her, you know. She's gonna make you waste your money. She did that to Sumireko once. I'll probably mention this when Sumireko shows up, but they had that thing where they like revived Renosuke's book, and Sumireko's like the co-main character now. I don't actually know, because I read that up until the chapter where Renosuke got like a robot dog or something. Has there been chapters since then? I don't know. If there have, I should probably read them. But yeah, that's Jun. She's fine. She's got a nice hat. She talks, unlike Unzon. Get to you later. Kaneko. I think I've said a couple times where I've commented how much I like the character's theme. It's really not changing much in the ranking because Kaneko here, she is my favorite theme in the entire series. Her boss fight, it's perfect. 10 out of 10. Everything about a final boss fight music should be. It's what Kaneko's theme is. But even though I really like Kaneko's theme, I kind of like her fight. I also kind of hate her fight because there's stuff that I literally don't know how to do and I just bomb through it. But she is the final boss in my favorite Touhou game, so you know, her fight, I like it a little bit, I guess. Her spell card is also the best like final spell card in the entire series because it's really, you know, fun and suspenseful. I can say words to dodge and stuff, and it's called Mountain of Faith. So her final attack is the name of the game on easy and normal difficulties, because then it becomes something else on the harder difficulties. Kinda lame. But yeah, you know, she's Kaneko. She's got purple hair. She has a giant donut thing. Don't remember what it's called. You played as her in 17.5, I think, and I don't think that really did anything for her character at all, because I can't remember even what she did. I think she did what every other character did, where she went to check what was going on, and she fought Yuma, and then she didn't actually beat Yuma, so the next character had to go fight Yuma. But you know, she's like, out of Kaneko and Suiko, she's the one who comes up with the dirty schemes, done dirt cheap, you know. I don't know, she's like fine, I guess. I don't really have anything against her. We had that thing for a while where she was like the main mastermind behind Touhou, even though she doesn't really show up. You basically get told, oh yeah, this was Byakuran's fault, but it's not really at some point. It's like, okay, so she started Touhou 10 because she showed up and was like, alright, I need my faith, so I'm gonna make a shrine, and when people worship shrine, and Reimu's like, I don't like competition. Well, that's not really what happened. I think what actually happened was Sanai came up to Reimu's shrine and was like, your shrine is shit, Reimu. And Reimu didn't take that lying down, so she went to go fight the shrine. She went to go fight the Morias, and she beats Kaneko, and there you go, that's Touhou 10. And then Touhou 11 is about how, Kaneko, she wants to create renewable energy in Gensokyo or something, because apparently Gensokyo had an energy problem before she showed up that she needed to fix. Or something, so she gave Oku. Well, she didn't talk to Satori at all. She went past Satori, went straight to Oku, and was like, eat this god. It's called a Matarasu. It's a crow, it's got 3 legs. And Oku ate it. And then they ate it. And then Oku becomes super powerful, and then she goes on a bit of a power high, and that's why Touhou 11 happens, because she's kind of, you know, mad with power, and is currently too stupid to realize why turning the entirety of Gensokyo into a nuclear hellscape would be a bad thing. So 11 happens, and you find out at the end it was all Kaneko's fault. And it's like, oh boy, Dak Kaneko. Sure would be great if the main mastermind behind this game appeared in it, but she doesn't, because Sanai's the mid-boss of 11. Or 11 extra stage, not her, because she was the mid-boss of 10's extra stage. But then, like, it's supposed to be like everything after that was Kaneko's fault, but not really, because everything that happens after that, it's like Kaneko is directly responsible for 10 and 11, but then like 12 happens because in 11 Orin like makes the spirits releases the spirits in the underworld to warn the overworld about Oku, and when she does that, apparently that releases the characters from 12, and now that they're released, they go and help Byakuren, and then once that's done happening, Byakuren notices Miko's seal. She puts a temple on top of it, and that causes Miko to finally wake up. And then, I don't remember exactly what 13.5 is, but I think it was related to 13 in some way that I can't remember. And what I'm basically saying is, Kaneko is responsible for the first two, but to say she's responsible for the stuff after that is like saying that, what's his fucking name? Damn, I was about to make a joke about history, and then I forgot the fucker's name. God damn it, my joke is gone. I'm too fucking tired for this. Anyway, you know, she's fine, whatever. She was in Lotus Eaters, where she had a redesign that was kind of nice, I guess. Alright, Rumia. Rumia is a character because, she basically barely exists in actual Touhou, because she's just a stage 1 boss of Touhou 6, and you fight her, and then she's gone, and then she never shows up again. I think she might have had an article written about her or something, but I don't remember what that article was about. But anyway, this character is extremely popular, and she's a bunch of stuff because people love this character. Because, she's adorable, and when she shows up, she goes that show, and she sticks her hands out like she's Jesus H. Christmas, and, you know, it's just great. And, you know, a lot of times when Rumia shows up and stuff, it's great, for the most part. My favorite iteration of Rumia is in Reimu's Awesome Holiday, where the whole joke was that all of Team 9 don't act like themselves at all, and they basically turn into completely different characters. That is ironically my favorite version of Rumia, because Rumia goes from, you know, the goofball that she normally is, into, like a disgruntled detective that has to yell at people and has to deal with everyone's bullshit, and she's just done with everything. It's fucking great. I love Rumia and Reimu's Awesome Holiday. She's like my favorite character in that game. But yeah, for the most part, Rumia's great, except the whole lore thing in Touhou about how the yokai, they actually go around fucking killing and eating people, you know, presumably very slowly and painfully to get as much fear as possible. It's really fucking stupid. Because, again, this is a series where you take these fucking things and you make them look like this, and it's like, look at this fucking character. I've seen art of people trying. They try to make this character fucking disemboweling people's guts out look not fucking stupid, and it looks stupid every time. It's like, I think I already made this comparison, but I can make it again. Sonic.exe. It's a really fucking stupid story. It's really badly written, and it's just really stupid about how, it's a version of Sonic who's actually a fucking demon from a different universe who looks like Sonic because he likes Sonic. So he's a Sonic, but he's got bloody eyes and is evil and goes around violently murdering Sonic characters, and it's really stupid. And, you know, it got really popular when creepypastas were a thing back in, like, the early 2010s. But then it stopped being popular for a while, because people realized, wait, this is really stupid. But then, through the power of Friday Night Funkin' and other bullshit, Sonic.exe is now really popular again. And, actual people who can actually make really good stuff have become attached to, like, this character for some reason. So Sonic.exe is really popular nowadays, and there's, like, unironically really good stuff made about Sonic.exe, where it's just like, when I say really good, I mean, like, it's really well made, and you can tell that the people making it are really good at what they do. But at the end of the day, Sonic.exe is really fucking stupid. So no matter how well made it is, it's still really stupid. So at the end of the day, the idea that this fucking character goes around killing and eating people is so goddamn stupid. And it's just like, she never shuts the fuck up about it. It's like because when Lumia shows up, you know, if you just have her, like, be cute and say, is that so, and that stuff, it's fine. But as soon as she starts talking about eating people, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Please talk about something else. So, yeah, it's just, you know, she's fine when she's not talking about eating people, and when she does talk about eating people, I want her to stop talking and have someone else talk. So, you know, it's just kind of unfortunate that this has become the ambassador of the dumbest piece of Touhou lore. Because, like, and I don't even know why. She's not even the only character in her game that talks about eating people. Mei Ling talks about eating shrine maidens in the same game. How much do you see Mei-Ling talking about eating people and stuff? Fucking never. I'm pretty sure Mystia talks about it 2 games later, and she gets to be the main protagonist in one of the most popular fan games, where she's just sweet and would never do anything like that at all. But Rumia definitely goes around killing and eating people, because she talked about it in her dialogue, like all these other characters do. In fact, I think the only instance I can think of off the top of my head where a character actually is confirmed to fucking eat people is Yukari, where apparently she like takes people from the outside world and eats them and fucking gives them to other yokai to eat. Again, that's never used in anything. Like her beating Ron with an umbrella, because it's like, why the fuck would you use that? It's just a character that's like fucking that goes around killing and eating people. It just makes them blatantly more unlikable. And so, like, ironically, the only time I've ever seen that used in anything is in Gensokyo Odyssey, where that's like a main plot point. But also, I'm pretty sure Gensokyo Odyssey was trying its best to make the most unlikable iteration of Yukari ever created, because she's a fucking bitch in that game, and that's kind of the point, because Kokoi is like the main character of that game, and she fucking hates Yukari, so they want you to hate Yukari too. And also, the funny thing about Yukari being the only fucking character confirmed to eat people is that, you know, she's Maribel. So that's cannibalism, because Maribel is a person. She may not be a person anymore, but goddamn it, it's close enough. Yukari's a cannibal. Whereas you can argue if Rumia eats people, you know she's a yokai, it's not cannibalism. But if Yukari does it, it is, because Maribel's a person. Am I gonna continue that joke where I, talk about Maribel when Yukari's on the screen and talk about Yukari when Maribel's on the screen? If I keep doing that, they're gonna be, like, in the opposite positions. I probably will. I mean... Sure. Moo cow. Moo cow! Moo cow. Almost an hour here. How long will I make this recording sit? Make this recording? Who knows? Moo cow is interesting, because, she has, like, one of the most detailed backstories in the entire series, because, the Runegate Cage book, the one that's about Silent Sinner and Blue, and it's probably better than Silent Sinner and Blue, but I don't remember most of it. All I really remember is that there's an entire chapter dedicated to Moko and her backstory, which has nothing to do with Silent Sinner and Blue, but it's the best part, and that says a lot about Silent Sinner and Blue, and it's Moko, Moko's backstory, you know, she's an angry little kid, and she's really mad at Kaguya because Kaguya, embarrassed her father or something. I don't know. I don't really remember. Moko's backstory is kind of bizarre. She really fucking hates Kaguya for something really petty, and, like, really the only reason why she's so mad about something that petty is that, you know, she lives forever, and that hatred at least gives her something to think about. But, you know, she meets up with these guys who are trying to throw this immortal elixir into a volcano so it'll go away because it's the Horai elixir. And then Amoko is thinking, you know, maybe I could be immortal, because she's a dumb kid and doesn't realize that's a bad idea. So she pushes a guy off a cliff, and he dies. And then Moko drinks the thing, and then she realizes it's a terrible idea. So now she lives forever. She will live forever. You know, but at least unlike Pokey Pig, she's not stuck in a capsule or whatever. I watched a video about that recently. Man, Mother has fucked up lore, doesn't it? But, you know, she's for the most part fine. Like, apparently she has, like, some edgy backstory. Apparently she used to kill people or something. But, you know, she's like a fucking 1,500 years old at this point. She's mellowed out. And now she just hangs out in the forest. And she doesn't even really hate Kaguya that much, from what I can tell. It's because I'm pretty sure the whole hatred was just a fixation to keep her sane. And now that she has other things to think about, she probably doesn't even really care that much anymore. She's friends with Kane, but that's never shown because Kane never gets to show up in anything. I think she's friends with Sumireko, so that's the thing. Sumireko, probably talk about more, a very interesting character because she's based on a time period. She's based on teenagers in a time period from 10 years ago. I'll talk more about that later, but you know, Moko, she's great, I guess. She's got overalls. So, you know, that's a great design there. Also, she has, like, fire powers for some reason. I just find that kind of funny. Yeah, she has one of the most detailed backstories in the entire series, but that backstory doesn't detail why she has fire powers, which is kind of her main thing. Like, she doesn't actually have the power of a phoenix or whatever, I don't think. She just uses that as a motif because she's like a phoenix. And she also has this thing where, like, spell card rules aren't lethal. That's kind of their whole thing. They shouldn't kill you. But it kills Moko for some reason. Like, I get it, her body's weak, but, like... they're like, this shit is not supposed to kill you, so why does it kill you and nobody else? I don't know. Minimitsu Marasa. My channel icon, this fucking thing, because I drew it once and thought it was funny, and put it as the channel icon, and it's still there. Well, she has green eyes and everything, and I drew her with like bluish eyes because that's what her original art is. But basically, every time I see Marasa in anything, that is changed to green eyes. Don't really know why that is, but you know, Marasa, she's ironically, I don't really have much to say about her. She's a ship captain. That's cool. Her name is pretty great, Minamitsu Marasa. Minamitsu, that's a pretty funny word. She has a ladle. She made it out of clay, not really. She uses that to sink ships or something, because this character, you know, she has a pretty big backstory. I don't exactly remember what happened, but basically she drowned and became like the vengeful like ghost or something who went around drowning ships, and then it was up to Byakuran to get her to stop. So Byakuran, she came to Marasa, and then Marasa sunk her ship, and then Byakuran brought back Marasa's ship onto the surface somehow. Don't know how she did that, but she did, and Marasa's like, that's so fucking cool, Byakuran, so now she follows Byakuran forever, presumably. She's also a ghost, so I don't think she's dying anytime soon. She's already dead. You know, she's a ship captain. She's part of the group of the Demoria peoples. I think it was that one manga that I never read that maybe I should. It's like the Kyoko one. I think it's where one of the Kyoko memes comes from, and I think it's about Kyoko, and I think her and Marasa and Nu. I think they're like the main characters of that. Maybe if I read that, I would like this character more. But you know, she's for the most part fine. You know, she's got a neat hat. In 17.5, she's got a coat. That's pretty cool. But, you know, she's fine. She's not my favorite character from the Moria Shrine. No, she's not from the Demurren Temple. Those are similar words. In one's tired state, you could mix them up. Alright, Sanyo. Sanyo is kind of an unfortunate character. Her main gimmick is smoking. I don't like smoking, even if they're fictional characters. Yeah, I have a bias against fucking just smoking in general. I mean, you shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you. If you didn't know, smoking's bad for you. And it's bad for the people around you. Did you know that, smoking in an enclosed space with children, like a car, you know that's a bad idea? It may sound obvious. Something that anyone would know. You'd be fucking surprised. Anyway, yeah, this is a big obstacle for me caring about this character at all, is that her gimmick is something I fucking hate. Like, I don't care if, oh, it's actually magical, whoop-de-doo smoke that doesn't harm you, in fact, it makes you feel better. I don't care. And then, like, she's the other character that looks like Yorihime and Meira, that's the joke. But she doesn't have a sword. But, like, this character doesn't really do much in, the game she stars in. She just kind of, like, shows up, and she's like, why are you here? Go away. And then you beat her, and then you go to the cave. And then, like, she's in Lotus Eaters, and, like, people who like this character talk about how she's in Lotus Eaters, and that's really, she's great in there. And then I read Lotus Eaters, and she's just kind of there. I think she talked to Mamizo a couple times or something, but most of the time she's just in the background. And when her fucking gambling den shows up, and it's like, what is she doing in this manga that makes people like her so much? She's just there. I don't know. I mean, like, other than her smoking gimmick, she's fine, but like, that smoking gimmick is a pretty fucking big negative. Yuki, she is, unfortunate character, because she's stuck with Mai. the most interesting thing about Yuki is, you know, she looks like Marissa, but this was back when Marissa looked pretty different. I'm pretty sure she was still purple in Touhou 5, I think. I don't think she became the Black White Witch until Seiho, which I'm pretty sure was made when the extra stage of Seiho, where I'm pretty sure that came out after Touhou 5. So yeah, no, the neat thing about Yuki is that she looks like what Marissa would end up looking like before Marissa looked like that, you know? But, you know, she's got fire powers. That's cool. And, she's just really unfortunate because, you know, her friend is not her friend. And because she's a PZ98 character who no longer exists, that entire, like, possible subplot is just left in limbo forever. Will Yuki ever find out that her friend's a terrible person, or will she continue to be manipulated by her till the end of time? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But she's an actual person, unlike a giant fucking eyeball tank. Sicky Monkey. Sick Bank. I used a Seki Monkey in, Puppet Dance, didn't I? Yeah, Seki Monkey. You know, she's got the whole headless horseman, but no horseman gimmick, where she takes off her heads, and she's got a bunch of heads, and her heads can go around, and that's her character gimmick, and it's kind of neat, and that's used in a lot of neat ways, like in, what's that game called? Kobayashi Recollection or something? The Sekibanki game, where you use Sekibanki's heads as puzzles and stuff. You know, that's really neat. So she's a character whose gimmick can be used in a lot of unique ways. And, but as for herself, you know, she's friends with the wolf and the fish. She's friends with Kogasa a lot for some reason. I think that's only based on, like, I think they're together in some background panels on the manga or something, so people took that and was like, okay, they're friends now. Sure, Kogasa needs more friends anyway. But, you know, she's pretty great. She's got red hair. She got a cute bow, I guess. A lot of Touhou characters have a cute bow. It's kind of gotten to the point where the bow just kind of... You just kind of forget about it. Like, I'll be honest, if you drew Seki Monkey without the bow, I probably wouldn't even notice. Yeah, you know, she's fine. Kawakama is a little shithead. My favorite version of Kawakama is the one from the Busy Person series, where she's just a gigantic shithead, and it's just fucking great. But, this character is also like Daiose, where she's literally not a character. I think the only canon thing known about her and Daiose is Zun, like, what is Zun basically went, okay, their basic personalities is they're, like, playful and mischievous or something. And the ironic thing about Daiose is that's not how she's normally shown to be, but it's kind of what Kawakama is shown to be a lot of the time, from what I can tell. She's a little prankster, I guess. She works for Patchouli. There used to be this thing where people would make two Kawakamas, one with short hair and one with long hair. But that's kind of not a thing, and now just Kawakama with long hair is the one remaining. She's like a little demon thing, so people like to make her a succubus. So, you know, that. She's got a nice suit thing. This is pretty nice design. But yeah, you know, she's not that much of a character, but, you know, she's an EOSD character, so she's in a lot of things, so, you know, you get attached to her somewhat because you see her all the time. But I think I like Seki Monkey a bit more. I already talked about Kasen, didn't I? Momiji. Momiji is a sprite that attacks you in 10, and I think 9.5? Was she in 9.5? I think so. Was she in 12.5? Or was it called 12. Yeah, it was 12.5, right? 12.3 was the fighting game, 12.5 was the photo game, and 12.8 was Fairy Wars. But yeah, and then she likes Shogi, and that's her only character trait, until her other character trait becomes that she doesn't like Aya, because... The funny thing about the whole Aya and Momiji thing, about how they don't like each other, is I'm pretty sure that was made a thing just to show that Crow Tengu and Wolf Tengu in general don't like each other. And because those are the only characters he could really use to show that, he was like, okay, I guess these two don't hate each other. And then that just ironically happened to go against the most common interpretation of the character, where she's like Aya's, I don't know, second command lapdog. Some people ignore that, and some people take that to. Some people still use that, and some people use that to be like, okay, maybe they hated each other at some point, but they're actually buds now. They do that in that like Ace Attorney series where Aya is Phoenix Wright, and that's probably the best interpretation of Aya I've ever seen. But you know, Momiji, she's got a Canadian shield, and she's got a sword, and she's got a funny hat, she's got wolf ears, she's got a tail. And, you know, she's a wolf girl, so that means people love her, and she's in lots of stuff where she's actually like a cute wolf, and she's great. You know, she's a total dog girl, and I like all of those, so, yeah. Not really much to her, except for when she gets to be in fan games and actually be a character, but as she is, you know, she's pretty great, but she's barely anything, but, you know, when she's great, she's great. 15%? We made it to 15%! It's only been 4 hours and 40 minutes? Yeah, I'm reading that right, yeah, because the first two are 3.5 hours. This is an hour and 10 minutes. What characters do I have left to talk about? A lot. This percentage thing doesn't matter. As soon as I'm done talking about every character, it's gonna take like 10 minutes to finish. That's how these fucking sorters normally go. Our Kokoro, I get that. The thing about Kokoro is, like, she's the main antagonist, quote unquote. She's the main instigator of 13.5, because it's about how she lost her Mask of Hope because Koichi stole it. And that makes her emotions go all out of whack, and then in order to fix that, Miko makes her stupid Miko mask that I think fixes the issue, so it's fine by the end. So, by the end, Kokoro's fine, and I think she had a bunch of character development and stuff about her learning how to be a person or something, so I'm pretty sure all of that was great, but I don't remember any of it, so, you know, that's unfortunate. And then Kokoro just kind of continues to be in the fighting games, despite the fact that she's not really relevant to what's going on at all past 13.5, so she's just one of those characters in the fighting games where she has her story is just filler. And then, outside of that, she does plays and stuff. So that's the thing. She has the neat gimmick of, you know, she can't show her emotions very well on her face, but she is very emotional. So you see that in her masks. So that's the dichotomy of her character. She's a very emotional person who can't show her emotions very well. And then apparently, I don't really remember the lore reasons why, but she is related to Miko, Byakuren, and apparently Okina. I never really see that third one. It's probably for the best. So there's like this common thing where, like, she's like the shared daughter between Miko and Byakuren. She like fucking changes house like they're divorced parents or so. It's a really weird thing, but I think it's kind of funny. And then other than that, even though all of 13.5 was about Koichi stealing her mask and her being very upset about that, basically everything I've seen with Koichi and Kokoro after that is that they're buddies now for some reason. I mean, you know, that's fine, I guess. Koichi probably needs more friends. Junko. One of those, really deep backstory characters. Because, you know, I don't even really remember it. So basically, she had a son. Her son is now dead because her husband killed her son. So she killed him. But then she's really mad at Chongi because Chongu, however you pronounce her name, for reasons I don't entirely remember, I think that Chongu, like, tell her husband to kill her son or something. I don't know. But for some reason, she fucking hates that bitch. I think Chongu was, like, the woman that her husband, like, tried to marry after her or something. I don't know. It's a lot of that is Lunarian lore, so can you really be surprised I don't really know it? So she's really fucking angry at that Chongu. She's so angry that she has turned her anger into pure anger. So she is a embodiment of pure something. So she can purify things, whatever that means. Again, purity in Touhou, stupid, because it's fucking Lunarian lore, and Lunarian lore is pretty stupid. So purity, and she's able to, 15 is about how, you know, even though the Lunarians are the the bee's knees of you can never do shit against them. Junko, she's managed to do something against them because 15 required that happen, so she can purify fairies. Because fairies that are purified can stop Lunarians or something. I'm pretty sure actual normal fairies can't do anything against Lunarians, because that would be funny. That would actually be, like, really great if these fucking stupid overpowered characters could, at the end of the day, be beaten by Sunny Milk. But no, it's because they were purified by Junko or something, so they're pure, and the Lunarians can't do shit about them. So then 15 happens where, there was, like, a plan to take over Gensokyo by killing everyone there because Lunarians are fucking terrible. But that plan doesn't happen because Sagome something, I don't remember. And then your main character, you go and fight Junkie, and then you beat Junkie. And then you fight her in the extra stage or something. I don't remember any of her dialogue that happens in the extra stage, but I do remember she takes an interest in Raisin, and that turned into something. That certainly turned into something. A version of this character that, what the fuck? This character in Raisin is like, one line of dialogue turned into all that. Jesus Christ. But, Junko, I don't know. She's, like, pretty great in the stuff where she's with Katya and Clown Piece. Some of her stuff with Raisin's great when she's not a fucking weirdo. But, that can sometimes be turned into something sweet if you just, like, don't go to weird places. Other than that, there's, like, not a whole lot to do with this character. She's very one-note in the way she is. She's literally, her entire motivation and existence is just to fucking hate this character, who I'm pretty sure is immortal. I think that's a thing. Shongu is immortal. That's a thing. They fucking kicked Kagi off the moon for doing that shit, but she's still there for some reason that probably has an actual lore reason I couldn't bother to read. But, yeah, Changhu, she's safe on the lunar capital, so Junko can't do anything about her, so she just spends her life in eternal hatred, but it's okay because she has a Katya and a clown to keep her company, or something. Anyway, she's fine. She also has, like, this tail gimmick, because she's also, like, a fox or something, I don't really know. She also has a hat. She kind of has orangish hair, but she's basically blonde and everything, like 99% of fan art, but ironically, not in this one, she's got kind of orange hair here. And then Okina showed up in the next game, and she looked exactly like her, so, that was funny. Brochure. I already talked about you, didn't I? I think I did. Raiko. Yeah, thing about Raiko, she was 14 when Sukuna did her thing. She made a bunch of school Mogami come to life because, like with On, apparently objects have spirits, and if given the right circumstances, those spirits can be turned into actual sentient beings or something. It happened with Kogasa, I think, because enough time caused resentment to happen or something. I don't know, but Raiko and the other two, they came back to life at 14, and then you fight her in 14, and then you beat her, and then according to the story, it's like, oh no, all the Sakumagamis, they're gonna go away eventually. I think there's some parts of Forbidden Scrollery where they're still around for a while before they go away, but they're gonna go away. But then Raiko does something, and makes it to where she has some sort of other power that makes it to where she doesn't go away, and then she gives it to the other two, so they're still around, and it's just like, so then if you don't want the characters to go away at the end of the game, just make it to where you don't write something that would make it to where they go away at the end of the game, so you don't have to come up with some bullshit at the end. It's really vague. But yeah, that's what happens, and she's got red hair and a nice suit. The 8-bit drummer cosplayed as her once. That was neat to see. She's also, the joke is that she's also Red Yuka, because she has like the same hairstyle and a somewhat similar dressing pattern. Honestly, out of these two, I've gotten more enjoyment out of Mioi from reading stuff. Fantasy Maiden Wars can only get you so far. Tierno is Everyone loves Cherno. If you don't love Cherno, you're lying. I mean, I guess, I think I mentioned this with the Tori, but, I got into the Touhou through, like, a TF2 parody of Chiromiyu, and I really like that song, and that song is a remix of Cherno's theme, and Cherno's theme being pretty fucking good is what inadvertently led me to the series, although I might have gotten into it anyway, because I'd heard other Touhou music from other stuff, so there's a good chance I would have looked up what the hell I was listening to eventually, but it just happened to be that. So yeah, Cherno's theme is great. Especially the version of 9, the version from 9, especially the version of 9 where it's Medic and a robot Medic screaming about the 1st of September. That is very great. Anyway, about the actual character, another theme, you know, she's pretty great. She's, very hot-headed, full of herself. People like to make her be really stupid, but I think ironically, out of fairies who are in general pretty stupid, she's actually one of the smarter ones. But, you know, she's a fairy, so, you know, not very smart. But, and she's full of herself, so she does really stupid things that make you wonder, like, why'd you do that, Cherno? And it's, well, because Cherno can't die, so she doesn't really understand consequences too much, so she continues to do dumb things, and it's great to see her go out of her way to do stupid things, and sometimes she succeeds, and sometimes she doesn't. And, you know, Daiusei is there to warn her, and then she doesn't listen. But, she's got really weird-looking wings. But, you know, Cherno, she's pretty great. I don't really have anything to say negative to say about her. But, out of the fairies, like, she's not my favorite. She's probably, I mean, we'll get there eventually after the ranking. She's probably, like, my 5th favorite, because, like, she's, you know, she's great, but she's not a main character in the fairy manga, where most of my liking of the fairies comes from. So, you know, you have, like, the 3 fairies and Clown Piece, and then I like Cherno after that, because she's not a main character in the fairy manga, but when, you know, she's in other stuff, she's pretty great. There's, like, this weird thing where, like, it seemed like in 16, like, Zun was trying to take Eternity and make her, like, an actual, like, character version of Daiusei, because she was friends with Cherno, and they, like, talked like they were friends in 16, but then Eternity just kind of doesn't show up anymore, so it's like, I think he just gave up on that. So, that's something. Has Eternity even shown up yet? I don't think so. I talked about Saki. Cowboy hat. Howdy. Patchouli. Patchouli is a character I normally have pretty high up here, and I wonder if I'll continue to do that, because I'll be honest, I don't entirely know why. I remember that one Parappa the Rappa sketch from M1. It was like one of the first, like, things I watched from Touhou that I, like, thought was really great. So it's probably a lot from that, but, Patchouli herself, yeah, she's got, like, she is, like, when you think of Touhou design, it's like, when I think of Touhou designs, I think this is a Touhou character, alright. I think, like, Reimu, and I think of Patchouli. Like, look at this fucking character. Ribbons everywhere, stripes, except she wasn't supposed to have stripes, but she has stripes, and a really fucking goofy mob hat with a moon on it, even more ribbons. She has so many fucking ribbons, and also many different characters. She's so over the top for what is probably just a nightgown that she just wears everywhere. But yeah, it's really, really iconic design, Patchouli is. But I don't know. When it comes to her character, Patchouli kind of mean. Like, she's really rude to basically everyone. And you know, she's really smart, and she likes to, you know, act like, you know, she acts like a know-it-all. But, you know, even though those things with her, you like her anyway. I don't really know why, you do. She's shown with Marissa and Alice a lot, because, you know, the magician trio of magicians. Ironically, like, she's friends with Vermilia, but, like, and, you know, she's with Vermilia in a lot of stuff, but, like, they don't really act like friends a lot of the time. They'll, like, drink tea together, and that's about it. Most of the time, interactions between Vermilia and Patchouli is Vermilia going, Patchouli, do this thing for me, and Patchouli's like, alright, fine. I have to earn this free rent at some point. So she does things for Amelia, and it's like and it's like these two are supposed to be friends. They don't really act like it. But I don't know. Patchouli normally isn't like the top 20 when I do these things. I don't know if she will be this time. Sanai Kochiya. This is a pretty great character. It's kind of like an interesting character, I guess, because you know, she was one thing in like 10, where that was mainly about her, you know, coming into Gensokyo for the first time and getting accustomed to it. So you really didn't know what she was like all that much. And then in Touhou 12, she's a main character, and you find out she's a massive dork who loves fucking mechs and animes, and she's just a fucking dork. And then in 15, she like hypes herself up as being like a fucking superhero because she doesn't know, because you know she's saving Lunarians and she doesn't know anything about Lunarians, so she thinks she's being super great, and she's saving all these people, and she's a fucking dork. And you know she's got the whole like friendly rivalry thing with Reimu going on, and that's pretty great. I guess a thing I missed about that is I did, Sanai's like one of the two characters in Touhou who like who doesn't like drink all the time, because Kasumi Reko, she's 17, she can't drink, you're not allowed to do that. And then Sanai had a chapter in the Kazen manga where she doesn't like drinking, so I thought she didn't drink. But then, from what I read in Lotus Caesars earlier the other day, she like wanted to drink some alcohol honey or something. So apparently she does drink sometimes. She just doesn't like doing it that much, but she does do it sometimes. So there you go. You know, Sanai, she's pretty great. I see her with Kogasa a lot, and that's pretty great when that happens. You got a big stick. But unlike Rainbow Stick, it doesn't get bigger and bigger with each game. Her arc in fucking 19 was weird. She just kind of like went around like beating up Beast Yokai or something for some reason. She had zero relevance on the overarching plot, but you know, it's gonna happen. We have to make 19 stories. And then now apparently the Tsukasa, who's I thought was just Megumi's like henchman, apparently she's not, because Megumi wasn't in 19 at all, and I don't think Tsukasa even talked about her at all. But she like apparently Tsukasa hangs around the Gloria Shrine now, so Sanai is now connected to Tsukasa. Okay. Yeah, Sanai's great. She's pretty great. But again, don't have much to say about her off the top of my head. Nu's interesting because look at her design. Isn't that cool? She's got a big staff thing. She's got a snake. And she's got her wings, but the thing is, she might not actually look like that, because the thing about Nu is you don't know what the real form is. And I remember Puppet Dance Performance, the best entry in the Puppet book was the one about Nu, where it's like, its true form is unknown, but it is important to love it regardless. It's like, that's great. But yeah, the thing about Nu is, you know, she shows up in 12, I think she's actually the reason why the UFOs happened, because she was like fucking with the Moria characters while they were trying to save Byakuren, and because I think she thought they were dangerous or something, and by the end she realized they were fine, and then she like makes up with them, and then she's with them a lot. So yeah, like as a member of the Myorin crew, sometimes she's pretty great, but like she basically has barely showed up since then, so I don't think that's how she is in canon, but like she's barely shown up, so she's not much of anything. It's funny, she's the reason Mamizo is in Gensokyo, because in 13 she calls Mamizo to help deal with Miko or something, because things might have happened there, and then Mamizo went on to be like the most reoccurring character in the entire series. It's not Reimu or Marissa, and knew what showed up in Forbidden Scrollery once, I think. About it. This character doesn't really exist anymore, and I think that's ironic. She was the catalyst behind one of the most reoccurring characters in the entire series, but he herself doesn't appear. I'll be honest, news probably not going to be very high because there are things that happened recently that makes me very biased against this character. Biggest thing is I mentioned before, I played Keifu recently, Fire Emblem game. It's a very flawed Fire Emblem-like game, and one of the biggest flaws of that game is you have to go through this fucking cowboy bullshit circus to recruit Nue and Ichirin and Anzan and Marasa, where you have to have you recruit Byakurin in like chapter 3. Byakurin fucking sucks as a unit until you promote her. And you have to go talk to those three, Marasa and Ichirin and Anzan are one unit. You gotta go talk to them. And then another chapter, you have to go talk to them again, but this time you gotta go talk to them again. They're enemy units the entire time, so they'll like try to kill you. And then you have to do it again for the third time before they finally join you. Like fucking chapter 16 or something. Way too long in the game for it to take, but it's the dumbest recruitment. It's the dumbest recruitment bullshit I've ever had to do in a Fire Emblem game. And it's made even worse by the fact that Nu is the dumbest unit I've ever seen in a Fire Emblem game, because she will just she'll walk towards you, and then she'll attack you, and if she's at 2 range, you can't attack her back, which is good because you don't want to kill her because you don't want to recruit her, and then she runs off and disappears because she has the ability to disappear. So you just have to play chase with her for the whole time, and she'll keep running away and throwing the bullet at you and running away, throwing it again, and I have to deal with this in some of the worst maps in the entire game. And oh my god, this fucking character pissed me off so much. She pissed me off so much. Oh my god. Fucking, that didn't make me very happy. And another thing about Nue is I don't remember exactly what the game was called, but I remember watching a playthrough of a game that was like an RPG Maker Touhou game, where you play as like a girl in the woods or something, and you like follow Reimu, and you don't really know what's going on. But it's like it has like dark backstory stuff going on. But if you don't like go through the correct route, all that really happens is that you get attacked by like the first 3 characters from 14 and some fairies or something, and it's really goofy and not all that serious. And then at the very end, Nu shows up, and she fucking mauls the main character to death. And it's the most fucking jarring thing I've ever seen in a Touhou game, because it's like, what the fuck just happened? And then, so yeah, your character's fucking dead. And then Reimu kills Nu. And it's just like, what the fuck? I never saw a playthrough of that game that did the route that explained what was happening. But it was just so fucking jarring for me to see that. It's just like, okay, Nu mauled someone to death. Again, that's a thing that apparently happens in Touhou, but it's fucking stupid. And what do you know, when it's shown in something, it's fucking stupid. So yeah, right. So she's not going to be very high just because of those very specific examples. It's not really her fault, but if she's used to shitty effect in a game, it's gonna be a thing. Aaron. Right, here's the thing about Aaron. She's a Lunarian, but she's had to live on Earth, so she's had to become humble a bit. So as Aaron currently is now in Touhou, she's like not that terrible. The only thing that's really annoying about her is that, Aaron's literally the smartest character in the fucking series, by far. If Aaron, except for one example when, Yukari stole some fucking alcohol without her knowing, which went nowhere, if Aaron's involved in something, she will be right. So that's what it is in 15. 15 went the way it did because Aaron did the things that she needed to do. But that's one thing, but the really annoying thing about that is there'd be one thing if Aaron was full of herself and it was just like every time she did something right, which is all the time, she'd be like, look how smart I am, aren't I so smart? And then you can just kind of brush it off and be like, whatever, Aaron. That's Aaron, but she doesn't do that. She goes, look how great the moon is. Isn't it so cool? The moon is so much better than all of your shit. Look what I did. because I'm from the moon and I did this thing. And it's like, Eren, shut up. I don't care. Yeah, this is the most annoying thing about her. But like, other than that, nowadays she's mostly fine. Because, you know, she's a doctor, she provides free healthcare and shit. That's pretty cool. How can you complain about that? And, I don't think she canonically is as terrible to race in as she's normally shown to be in fan stuff. At least I hope not. She's pretty fucking terrible to race in some stuff. Oh god. Like, fucking racing doesn't have it bad enough. Hey, nope, Eren needs to be terrible to her too. Let's have Kaguya be terrible to her also at the same time. Yeah, it's great. Love reading when that happens. Well, yeah, the thing with Eren that just like, where it's the same thing with New, where there's just fan games where I have negative things. I guess the first one is in the Fantasy Maiden Wars. She is very accurately written because when you fight her in 8, she hasn't had any character development yet. She's an obnoxious bitch. She won't shut up about how the moon is the best at everything, and Earthlings are fucking nothing but dirt, and you just want her to shut the hell up. And eventually, fucking eventually, she gets character development and isn't terrible. Takes a while, but you get there. So she's not that bad in that one, but she's fucking annoying when before she gets to the point. Another game, it's been a while since I've seen this, but like this gave me a negative impression of this character and it really went away. In Touhou Mother, it's a fan game about Mother and Touhou combined. This is why it's called Touhou Mother. Eren and Kaguya have the brilliant idea of working with Pokey Pig. You know that fucking guy? They work with that fucking guy for some reason. And Raisin is not an idiot in that game, and she's like, this is a terrible idea, don't do this. And fucking Eren's like, alright, you don't want to listen to what I have to say? She turns her into like a cyborg or something against her will. I think she turns Tay into like a fucking robot head or something. It's really bizarre. And then that happens, and then eventually you beat her, and then she was probably about to do something that would beat you, because that's what Eren normally does, but then Kaguya's like, wait, Eren, I think helping Pokey Pig might be a bad thing. And then Eren's like, okay. And then they stop. And it's just really bizarre and really fucking stupid. But that's how Eren is normally the time. She's really loyal to Kaguya for... I don't really know why. Frankly, she's like, why is Eren like so devoted to Kaguya? I mean, like, yeah, she's the lunar princess, and I guess it's because, like, I think she considers it her fault that Kaguya's in her position, because she's the one who made the elixir, so maybe it's guilt or something. But yeah, she basically does anything Kaguya says at the top, at the drop of a hat. If Kaguya says, we're doing this, she's gonna be like, okay, that's what happened to Touhou Mother. And it's really bizarre and really stupid, and fucking she's terrible in that game. And then, I forgot about most of this because it's been a while since I've watched it, since when I originally watched the game, but you know, and then I played Keifu again recently, and Eren's in Keifu, and she is insufferable. Because she's pre-character development Eren, so she's a racist asshole, and, but she also does everything that she plans, ends up going exactly how she wants, but her actual plans are like, why the fuck are these your plans? Anyway, Keifu's final chapters, I don't like them very well, but they have to do with, right, Yukari needs to create the barrier for Gensokyo, but she's not doing it fast enough, according to Eren. So in order to get Yukari to do it faster, Eren comes up with this plan where she lies to Yukari about how there's this super potion on the moon, and Yukari believes her because that's how you show that a character's smart. You make every character around them suddenly stupid. So Yukari does that, and oh boy, it's a trap, and then they go back, and they're like, Eren, what the fuck? And Eren's like, well, you see, you gotta do it to make your barrier shit. So that's what happens. Yukari makes the barrier. And Eren, just every fucking line of dialogue she says, I wanted to stop talking. And yeah, it's just not good. I don't really like Eren that much anyway, but the Keifu stuff recently is probably gonna make her even lower than she normally is. Narumi. Like a minute and 40 here. I could probably talk about these two in 20 minutes. How many characters do I have left? I don't know. Army showed up in 16. she's like, I think she's based on a line that Marissa says in Touhou 8 about like putting funny hats on Jesus statues. And here she is, she's a funny hat. She's a Jesus statue with a funny hat. And then I think she's Marissa's friend or something. There was a part in that in the recent Corindo chapters where I think she made fun of Sumariko. That was funny. I don't know, the only game I can think of that I've seen her in since 16 is she was in Mistia's Izakaya. She was pretty great in that, but it's been a while since I read any of that. She likes to strike this praying pose. That's something. Remilia. Yeah, I mentioned this with Sakia when I talked about the whole funny voices thing, and I didn't really mention that with Flandre.
Yeah, when I have Flandre show up, I do this stupid Cooper voice because she's a fucking Cooper. Yeah, that's what I do.
And then Vermilia, I tried, when she showed up at the very end of Gensoku, of Reimu's Awesome Holiday, I tried to give her, like, that voice, but slightly different.
And it turned into a shitty impersonation of Eric Cartman. So, every time Vermilia shows up in anything, I do whatever the fuck his voice is, and it's really stupid.
But it's funny when I think it's fun when I do it. So, yeah, there's that. She's one of the characters I give a stupid voice to. But you know, Remilia, she's fine. I like it when, cause you know she's supposed to be like a dignified, strong character, but she's also like a little fucking goofball who is a brat. So, you see that one panel where she eats some like shitty, like I don't even remember what it is, some grass food or something. She goes yuck. It's an iconic panel that is. But yeah, for the most part, she's fine. She's in a lot of stuff, and normally when she's there, she's pretty fine. She's an EOSD character, so you know she doesn't have much backstory, but it also gives her the potential to have backstory if you want to write one. But I've never really seen one that I could solidly say is like one that I attached to. Again, I haven't read much fan manga, so or any at all really. You know, she's fine. She's got to get the mob hat thing. I think it's specifically her hat that Toby Fox used when he made Tsundere plain. So, you know, that was a thing. But, you know, she's pretty great, but I can't really think of too many things to say about her at the moment. Marissa Kirizame, it took forever for her to show up. Reimu showed up like 2 hours ago, at least. You know, I like Marissa. I like her. I think I like her more than Reimu. I mean, there's nothing to dislike about Marissa, is she? You know, she's a normal human that comes from a human village, and she wanted to pursue magic, and her family didn't want her to do that, but by gosh, she was gonna do it. So she ran away from home and found her own home in the Forest of Magic. I don't know if she like made that home or someone else make it, or she just found it. But she lives in the forest now, and she does magic stuff, and She's got Renosuke at least, so you know she's not completely cut off from like her past and stuff. But then you know she became friends with Reimu somehow. PC98 is dubiously canon in a lot of ways, so I've always assumed that they met in some sort of incident similar to PC98, similar to what happened in PC98, whether or not Reimu was there or not, whether or not they actually fought or like helped each other. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like they're you know, her and Reimu are their best buds, and they're the main characters of the series. But how do they mate? Who knows? That's as well explained as like who Reimu's parents are and other things that will never be explained. But you know, she's pretty great because even though she is a normal human, she is still really powerful because she works really hard all the time. She tries all the time in this institution. But she doesn't want people to know that, so she's really secretive about how hard she works, and she's a very endearing character because, you know, in this series filled with characters with bullshit abilities that they just have because they have them, it's nice that a character like Marissa, who doesn't have any abilities at all and just works really hard, is able to beat all of them. some of them. But most of them, because she's a playable character in the games, which means she probably beat them. Maybe. That's the thing about Touhou, is because of the vagueness of whether or not who solved what, it's entirely possible that Marissa's never actually solved an incident at all, and that Marimu's the one who's done every single one, but it's impossible to know. That wouldn't be an impossible interpretation either, because in the manga she gets beaten all the time. And it's like, it kind of gets a bit annoying at some point. But, you know, maybe she'll be able to beat someone eventually, who knows. Does she have superhuman strength because of that one moment in Touhou 17? Maybe. I mean, like, I think Flandre fucking flung her against a wooden pole and it broke, and she got right back up, so maybe she does have superhuman strength. I mean, Byakurin does. Byakurin gives herself superhuman strength through magic. Is Marissa able to do something similar to that? I don't know. If she did, that'd be a more detailed ability. But, you know, Marissa, despite all her great things, she's also a very flawed character, which is good, because you don't want your character to be perfect. I keep, like, booping characters in the nose. It's very... I just... What do you want me to do with a mouse? I have nothing to do here, but just kind of move it around. Boop. Be like Freddy. Do the boop noise. I'm not editing that in. But, you know, she's a shameless thief. She goes around stealing people's shit, and she really has no excuse for it other than, well, you know, I'm gonna die a lot quicker before they do, like hundreds upon hundreds of years before they do, so really I'm not stealing it, I'm just borrowing it until I die. Which isn't much of an excuse at all, but you know, it's not like she steals the shit for no reason, like, she steals mostly magic books and stuff, so, you know, she can get stronger and get more magic and stuff, and, you know, that's... You gotta do what you gotta do when you gotta try to be a powerful character in this series full of bullshit powerful characters, and Marissa's thing is that, you know, she works hard and stuff, but, like, she's gotta have a base, so she just kind of, like, she has a whole book about taking other people's spell cards and trying to make her own shit out of it, and then she steals a bunch of books because she needs to use them to learn the magic from it, you know? I mean, what was Patchley gonna use those books for anyway? What the fuck does Patchley do besides just do whatever Rebellia asked her to do? Marissa would probably put it to better use. Ignore the fact that she just kind of throws it around her room. She's very dirty. Marissa is a very dirty hoarder. If you've seen her house, it's something. Actually, I've never been shown in canon, I just know in a lot of fan stuff, when her house shows up, oh boy, her house is a mess. Where does she even sleep? Yeah, Marissa, she's great. She's gonna be really high up there. She's, you know, she's the other protagonist in the series that has two really great protagonists. Star Sapphire. The thing about Luna and Sunny is that I already have their music on my computer, so it'll be very easy for me to edit them in. In fact, I already did it for Luna, because she appeared earlier, and I already edited that part. For Sunny, I'm gonna have to get Sunny Ritual Reflection out again. That has nothing to do with this character. Anyway, I mean, I've talked about the three fairies of light like twice now. You know, they're a unit where they work together, and Sunny makes them invisible. Luna gets rid of the sound, and Star acts as a radar. She's a ray star. I guess the interesting thing about that is the question of these three fairies that work so well together. What are the odds that they would meet and then hang out? Like, were they, like, born next to each other? Because there's a bunch of lore about fairies that isn't explained, and you just kind of have to take it in stride, where it's like, okay, fairies presumably never age, and if they do, they age really slowly. They don't have parents because they're born of nature, so if they're born of nature, and they don't have parents, does that mean they're born in a way to where they're old enough to take care of themselves? In fact, is that how yokai work? I don't know, because sometimes yokai have parents and sometimes they don't. And then if they're just born, are they just born with the same amount of intelligence as a fairy normally has, or do they have to learn how to live? I don't know, but anyway, these three fairies, they somehow ended up knowing each other, and then they hang out forever, I guess. And Star's the third one. She's the blue one. Black hair. That makes her look like Kaguya. Because Kaguya is a pretty generic looking character, so it's not a surprise that at this point two other characters happen to look very similar to her. That's the joke. But you know, she's like she's like you know, Sunny and Luna. They're very goofy and very It's not really they're very simple characters, but Star is like the third, slightly I don't know, edgier. Is that the right word? She's not as much of like an innocent little goofball as the other two because she's like the schemer one, I think, because like when Sunny and Luna go to do stuff, Star will pretend to help, and then she won't really help because she thinks it's funny when when Sunny and Luna have to do more work or they fail or something, and you know she's just kind of she's the mischievous third one. She apparently put a bomb in a snowman once. What the fuck? Where'd she even get that? But you know, Star she's a bit unhinged, but at the end of the day, she is stuck with the other two, so she's never really gonna go that far as long as she has to be with those two. Is she Ed with 1D or Ed with 2Ds? I don't know. Show is a really unfortunate character because, right, in 12, you know, she shows up, she's a really annoying boss fight, and then she frees Byakuran, but before that, apparently she had the pagoda, and she lost it, so Nazarene had to go find it and give it to her. And that one piece of information just became this character in so many things. When Sho shows up in something, Sho lost the pagoda again, and we're gonna go find it. Oh no, Sho, she lost the pagoda, this is her only joke. And it's just kind of unfortunate this character never gets to have anything else, because she is ultimately a kind of an interesting character. You know, she was a tiger yokai, not literally based on a tiger, she was based on what the Japanese thought a tiger looked like, because they didn't actually know what a tiger looked like. So she thought they were really scary. I mean, I'm not gonna say tigers aren't scary, but they thought they were even scarier than they really were. So she was like, you know, a really scary tiger yokai. But then she met Byakuran, and then Byakuran somehow made her an avatar of Bishamoten or something. Or maybe she didn't, and I don't remember this part. But she became an avatar of Bishamoten somehow. So she went from a yokai to a religious figure. And whether or not she can even turn into a tiger yokai again, kind of vague because she's never done it before, so she's never seen her with like a tail or ears. But then you know, she didn't get sealed underground with everyone else, and when Byakuran was sealed, so she just kind of had to deal with her own failure for like 1,000 years, and then you know, Touhou 12 is like a story of redemption and stuff. So the show has a bunch of stuff, but it never appears in anything for a long time because you know, Touhou had this thing where the stage 5 boss, not counting 9 because there was no stage 5 boss, they would always become like a playable character. You know, they did it with Sakuya and Yomu and Sanai, and then they just stopped doing that with Orin, even though Orin was like extremely important to the plot of 11 because she literally, I mean, she didn't cause it, but she was the thing that caused the main characters to go investigate. And then she wasn't playable until 19, and then she's playable again. But then Sho, she didn't get to be playable, and she still isn't playable in anything. And Futo was playable in some fighting games. And Sega got her own game, Seiya. And Clown Piece is not playable, but she's also the main character in like the one of the fairy mangas, so you know, she's doing fine. The fucking dancers, lol. And then, I don't know, Mayumi and Megamo haven't got much either, but, you know, I mean, recently, she's not in her own boat anymore, but for a while, she was, like, it was, like, her and Orin were, like, the only characters who weren't playable, and it's just like, isn't that a shame? And Sho didn't really appear in anything for a while, but, you know, she's been in the Satori manga, and she was pretty great in it, from what I remember. I think she's still relevant to it, actually. From what I remember, I think she's still with Byakuran, who's still doing things. Maybe she'll continue to do things, I don't know. She had some cool panels. I don't know, I said earlier where, you know, that manga is trying to, you know, make stuff look cool by making Touhou characters look threatening when they're not threatening. I think for Flandre, it just comes across as goofy, but I think for Sho, it kind of worked. She was like, had those panels where having the pagoda come out. It was great. Still like Star more though. And there's the other one that I already talked about. Yashie is a character. Very interesting character development wise because she was in 17. She was the boss of the Otters, and you know she was like a later character in 17, so she had the problem that the other two have of her dialogue is so fucking similar. In fact, the weird thing is even if you choose the Otters, which means that the Otter spirit with you is their boss, that changes like maybe one or two lines of dialogue, and it's still mostly the same thing. Yachie's like, alright, you need to go stop those guys, go do it. Like, okay. So, you know, this character doesn't really get much in the game she first started in because her dialogue is just the same thing over and over again. But, you know, she looks cool. She's a turtle dragon, so she's Bowser. She's got, like, weird antler horns. Her art was really weird because she had, like, a really big hand. People like to make Kiryu jokes about how she's Kiryu because she's a dragon and she's related to Yakuza. That joke really doesn't work because this character is absolutely nothing like Kiryu. I think that the Saki Majima joke works a bit more because I think you can finagle those personalities to be a bit closer. But this is like, no, this character is like the opposite of Kiryu. But yeah, and the thing is like she's the leader of she's the leader of the Animal Mafia, and you know those three are very like morally great characters. But I feel like out of those three, Yashie seems like to be the most like, I don't know if evil's the word, like shadier one. She seems to be like the one who will do the most evil shit if need be. Where Saki just kind of seems like the kind of person who'll be like, okay, I'm going to take this now. Either I beat you up or you just accept. And it's like, whereas like Yashie, it feels like she do a bunch of underhanded shit to get what she wants, you know? And Yuma just does whatever she wants. I don't even know what Yuma's like when it comes to actually doing evil shit. She kind of seems like the person who doesn't really do much until like she needs to. Whereas like in like 19, she was like, I guess we can go take over the service now. I mean, that seems to be an opportunity we have, so sure, let's go do that. And so, you know, Yashie, she's like the evil lady, and she has this ability where apparently she has such an overwhelming, like, aura of intimidation and persuasion or something that basically she can convince anyone to do anything. And it's one of those abilities where it's like, okay, well, what if you took this character's ability to do this, and you combined it with this character's ability to do that? Like, could she convince Yorihime to do anything, or do Yorihime immediately know, like, wait, your ability is to make me agree with anything, so now I no longer agree, I don't know. Things in Touhou where it's just like a mishmash of abilities that were created because they were, like, thought they were cool. And then you put them with other stuff, and it's like, how would that work? Interesting. Maybe. And then in 19, she's great because she goes from being, you know, this really intimidating, underhanded, shady character to a joke. Yeah, she is a joke in 19, and it's fucking great. She tried so many like schemes to take over the surface, and they all fail. And she gets outsmarted by On. And like, I'm not gonna say On's a pretty smart character, but in 19 she really didn't act that smart because like it was really weird because she gets like a tube fox, which is what Tsukasa is. She like convinces her to go around and do stuff. But I don't actually think it was Tsukasa doing that. I think it was a different tube fox that exists apparently and was getting On to do stuff. And I think that tube fox was being ordered by Yachie because On does whatever the fox tells her to do, and she ends up fighting Yachie at the end. And that's when she reveals that actually she was just following the tube fox because she knew the other On was at the shrine. She knew that nothing bad was happening. Yashie was just like, damn it. And then I think Yashie tried a bunch of other stuff, and they all failed. And then it turns out that, you know, her monkey friend actually worked for Zanmu because blah blah blah. Yeah, Zanmu knew everything was gonna happen. Blah blah. And so at the very end, Yashie is a fucking failure. She's failed at everything she's trying to do, and it makes it a lot more relatable. Where she's no longer this like super scary lady that can do whatever she wants. Nope. She kind of fails. She's kind of a Saturday night. She's kind of a Saturday morning cartoon villain who's just gonna fail every time she tries to do something, and it makes her a lot more likable. And then I still don't know if she's friends with the monkey or not. She was friends with the monkey in 19. I remember in the epilogue, it made it sound like she would continue to be friends with the monkey because the monkey who continue to work with her. But then in Lotus Eaters, the monkey is by herself making alcohol, and there's a whole thing about this otter spirit that now hangs out with the Kappa, who doesn't go back to the animal realm, because apparently all of the animal realm characters are back in the animal realm after 19. And Paten's not there anymore, so it's like, is she still friends with the monkey? I thought she was. I think it'd be a lot more endearing if she was. But I'm gonna keep... Right, sorry for the abrupt cut. I got so distracted by talking about Yashi that I forgot that my recording stops automatically after 2 hours, and that's what happened. I was basically done talking about this. I think I was in the middle of saying something like, I'm not entirely sure if she's still friends with a monkey, because Lotus Eaters make it seem like she's not, but I'll assume she is until I am directly proven otherwise. Luna. Honestly, you. Yeah, I remember what I said about I can't really rank this character that high because so much of her fucking character is yet to be revealed, but I'll put her over the literal Who characters as a literal Who character. Her name's Tokiko. That's it's a name she was given. I think it literally just means like bird girl or something. It's a very generic name, but she appeared in like one chapter of the Vernosuke book, the older ones, not the newer ones. She was really angry because Reimu like stole her book or something. I don't really remember, but she wanted to read a book, so it became her main personality traits became she likes reading books, and because she appeared in the Vernosuke manga, that means she hangs around Vernosuke, I guess. So her main character traits, from what I can tell, are read book and hang around Korindo, and that's kind of her thing. And she's barely a character. But sometimes, when she's included, she can sometimes be funny. I think I remember watching at least one fan game where she was funny. She's got a neat design though. Like, this is a lot of effort was put into this design for a character that showed up in like one panel, so it is very impressive. I know she showed up at one other point. She was like on the cover art of, I think, one of the chapters of Forbidden Scrollery, so, you know, she was acknowledged to exist again. But, you know, she's still barely a character. But, yeah, she's got a really, really nice design, actually. Like, she has one or two wings. I don't know, but she's got one wing on her head, she's got horns. It's a very intricate design for a nothing character. But, yeah. Ironically, I don't know, if you were to sort Touhou characters based purely on design or nothing else, Tokiko would, like, ironically, be pretty high up there. She's got a pretty sick design. But as a character, she's barely anything. She's not eyeballs, though. Yatsuhashi, I already talked about Ben and, like, the Tsukumo's backstory and stuff when I talked about Ben, so I don't really talk about this character too much. She's, the other one that's not named Ben. The joke is that they call her Ben's sister because Ben is a really easy name to remember and Yatsuhashi isn't. The funny thing about Yatsuhashi, she looks so generic. She's like short brown hair girl with ribbon that, like, it could almost become endearing how generic she looks, but she like doesn't even get that because the thing with Lyrica, she hasn't shown up yet, so I haven't mentioned this. When Lyrica showed up in 7, she had like very, very like maybe brownish but kind of silverish hair. And for some reason, that very commonly just got turned into straight brown hair. So, in a lot of times Lyrica shows up, and I think she's even like this in 15.5, she just has straight brown hair. Short brown hair, just like Yatsuhashi does. So, if you were to take off Lyrica's hat, and take off her hairband, and put them right next to each other, they look the exact same. So she doesn't even get the whole very generic looking thing, because Lyrica looks exactly like her with her hat off. And yeah, the like most notable thing about this character is apparently she has a spell. Apparently one of her attacks in the Seiya game, 14.5 I think. Apparently people fucking hate that thing. Apparently it's like one of the hardest spells to no item beat in that game. But you know, I don't know anything about that. But you know, I guess every character's got to have something they're known for, and I guess she's that. It's not a very positive thing. People fucking hate this character. People who have to deal with that fucking hate this character. Yeah, I guess the way her instrument is kind of neat because like her instrument basically isn't real. Whereas every single other instrument character, they have a physical instrument they're playing. Hers is like, she manifests like magical strings in front of her, and that's how she plays it. So she's got that. That's one unique thing about her. I'm really about to put a turtle above an actual person. Alright, Inako. There's something, I feel like there's something different in the art style with Inako compared to the other characters here. I don't know if that's just me. Inako Mitsugashira. Yep. Not gonna remember that right now. Very bad with bad last names. I don't know. It was like her and Baten were like the two characters from 19 that I really liked. I think, but yeah, you know, On's my favorite character, and in some ways, Inako is kind of like what On is to Marissa to Reimu, or what On is to Reimu to Marissa, but she's kind of like, she's sort of like become Marissa's dog, but not really, because she's a lot more independent than On is. But yeah, she shows up in 19, and she's like, she works for, she quote-unquote works for, Saki, but not really, because it's all something to do with Zanwu's plan or whatever. And, the thing that's great about that is that, Saki really likes her dog, and she gets really upset when she finds out that Yashie beat up Inoko, and it's really cute. But then at the end of the game, it's like, it's implied that, it seems to be implied that, you know, Baten went back to Yashie, and, Shiori still hangs out with Yuma, from what I can tell. But I think Inoko dipped. I don't think she's, like, actually part of the wolf gang anymore. I think she just kind of hangs out in Forest with Marissa now. Not entirely sure. I mean, I still see, like, plenty of stuff where she still hangs out with Saki, but I don't think that's the case anymore, which is a bit of a shame, because I thought that was a pretty cool part. But she doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, she hangs out with Marissa because a part of her backstory that you find out in one of the dialogues is that, in Marissa's past, you know, before she said, screw you, Dad, I'm going home, I'm leaving home, she used to, like, go into the forest and cry when she was little because she wanted to do things and her parents were very mean about it. And apparently, Inoko was like a wolf, like an actual wolf, and she would go up to Marissa and, like, help her feel better. And then, fast forward to now, and apparently at some point Inoko, like, ate Zanmu's flesh or something, and that turned her into a yokai, and I think she's also immortal, apparently. Don't quote me on that, but that might be a thing. And then, like, that weird thing she has on her neck apparently, like, teleports you to hell immediately. And there's a gag about the end of 19 where Marissa's, like, messing with the orb. I don't exactly remember. She was trying to help Inoko in some way, and I don't exactly remember what that reason was, but she kept, like, getting teleported to hell over and over again. And that was the joke. But, you know, Inoko is great because, you know, she hangs out with Marissa a lot because she was, like, her dog friend, and now, currently, she is also her dog friend. But she's also a very new character, so I haven't really seen her in any fan games at all, besides, like, Gensokyo Odyssey, where her entire joke was handshake jokes, because that was a big joke with this character. She has bear traps on her hands, and if you shook her hands, that'd be very bad for you, unless they're fake. They might be. The whole, like, bear traps on her hand thing, I'll admit, is a bit ridiculous. I get it's supposed to make her look like Cerberus or something, with the 3 heads, but it's just like, you really carry those things around with you everywhere? How do you pick things up? It just seems a bit ridiculous to me. I think it would make more sense if she was more often drawn without them, and then she only really used them during fighting or something, but as far as I can tell, every time anyone draws this character, she's just, like, existing with those things on her hands at all times, and it's like, okay. But whatever. But yeah, she's great, but she's a very new character, so I'll probably end up liking her more the more stuff she appears in, but she'll probably be pretty high regardless, because she's a dog, and she's Marissa's dog. I talked about Yukari, didn't I? Kozuzu! It doesn't look Kozuzu. Kozuzu's great. She's probably the best protagonist. Like, book series protagonist. Like, I like the fairies a bit more than her, but like, those 3 characters, and then Clown Piece is the 4th character. So that series ended up having like 4 main characters. Kozuzu's like the main character for Forbidden Scrollery, with Q being like the secondary one, but not really, because there's a bunch of stuff, a bunch of chapters where she's not there. But yeah, Kozuzu's great. You know, she's the bookkeeper versus Suzanon. She's a normal human girl, except because she's a Touhou character, that means she has to inexplicably have an ability for some reason, even though her parents probably don't, and most of the other human villagers don't, but she does, because she's important. So her ability is that she can read anything. She can understand any written language. And that's, you know, she can do that, and that's used for plot stuff. Not really that powerful an ability. It's basically, she has, what if she had the equivalent of Google Translate, but far more advanced, what's actually really accurate, and that's her ability. But, you know, she's adorable. She's got orange hair, it's very important, and she's got bells on her head, like she's Isabelle. And she has her name written on her, what do you call this? Blanking on what kind of clothing this is, but she's written right there. It's very goofy looking clothes. And, you know, she's just great. All of Forbidden Scrollery is about her, you know, looking into stuff, being really curious about stuff, and at the very end, I don't remember exactly how, but she basically earns the right to, hang out with the other yokais like Reimu and crew do, and it's great. I remember, like, Kozuzu's interactions with other characters, I remember, were pretty great, to where even though, you know, I don't like Mamizo that much, I remember liking her interactions with Kozuzu, because Kozuzu was great. I think Racing was also there, I think Ai was also there. I did that thing where she, you know, sells newspaper at Suzanon or something. Again, if, like, the whole thing about Tengu is controlling the flow of information, but also they compete with each other, you figure some of the other Tengu would be upset with the fact that Aya can now sell her newspapers directly into the human village. Did I talk about this earlier? I think I did. How, whether or not nobody reads Aya's newspaper, everyone reads Aya's newspaper. As far as I can tell, when it comes to current canon, everyone reads Aya's newspaper. And she'll literally write something, and it'll affect things a couple chapters, like a chapter or 2 later. Because everyone reads her stuff now. And I guess that's because of what happened in Forbidden Scrollery. Anyway, that had nothing to do with Kozuzu, because I've forgotten about things to talk about Kozuzu, but you need to know. Kozuzu. She's great. You should read Forbidden Scrollery. It's probably the best one. I like the fairy manga a bit more, but objectively, I think Forbidden Scrollery is probably the best one. Sume Renko. How many characters have I not talked about at this point? That was 2 hours, so I've been at this for 5.5 hours. God help me. Sumireko. I mean, she's supposed to be based off, like, a 17-year-old. More specifically, Zun's interpretation of what a 17-year-old Japanese schoolgirl is like. And so, yeah, she's, kind of annoying, but that's also kind of the point. So she's, you know, she's not badly written, she's perfectly written, it's just the way she's written, it's just sometimes she kind of annoys me. And, you know, you have the whole thing where, I don't even remember what she did for 14.5, but it almost, like, destroyed Gensokyo. So I think the ending of that game was, like, all the yokai go around scaring her or something. I don't remember. But now, Sumireko, she hangs out with Reimu and stuff because she has a dream version. The way she works, she goes to sleep, and then her dream self, she's in Gensokyo, except in 16.5 where there was problems with that, but I don't remember the plot of 16.5, because do you really blame me if I don't remember anything about 16.5? But, yeah, so Sumireko shows up a lot. She's friends with Reimu and the microphone a lot for that. Oh, God. Sorry. I wonder how loud that'll be. We'll have to cut that out. Who knows? I've had this for so many hours, Morty. So many hours. Yeah, and then she hangs out with Renosuke and basically becomes the other main character of that book, which I still don't know if still is going on. Probably is, but I should check. been like many years since I've looked at it. But you know, like she's fine. Like again, she's kind of annoying, but that's also kind of the point. But also, she's really weird because like she was supposed to be a modern, you know, teenager in 2015. It's been 9 years, and she's like the same character because Touhou is Simpsons time bullshit because it tries to be the same. It tries to be like in parallel with the outside world because Zun likes to include current things in Touhou sometimes, so he uses that as an excuse to do that. But then there's sometimes where it's like, how does this work? Especially with, you know, you just don't question why characters don't age. Even though it honestly would not be that hard to write characters aging, because there's like less than 20 characters who actually age because they're humans. Wouldn't be that hard to write them aging, but that would cause change. People don't like change. So, yeah, like characters don't age, don't think about it. But also Sumireko doesn't age, and she's in the outside world, which is constantly changing. So it's like, what's going on with her? Because like she's supposed to be like a modern teenager, but she's like 10 years out of date. She's not doing the fucking skibbity Ohio Riz bullshit anymore. That's what the kids are doing nowadays, right? She doesn't do that. Because if she actually aged, she'd be in her 20s by now. She's also got glasses, I guess. So there's that. I don't know how many total characters have glasses. It's like her and Mami Zoe. One has reading glasses. I think Patchouli also has reading glasses. Which I guess means, I assume there are people in Gensokyo that can make glasses. Probably. Yumemi. Funny thing about Yumemi, apparently I don't have, her theme or Chiari's on my phone anymore. I thought I did. Apparently they got deleted, so I have to get it again. And use it to edit for this. Yumemi. She's one of the more, I guess, one of the PC98 characters with more backstory than most of them are. She's apparently in... She's, like, her and Chiari, I'm pretty sure they're, like, one of the main reasons why, PC98 just cannot be stated to be, in canon with Windows, even if someone wanted it to, which I don't think he wants to, but even if he did, like, because these two, they come from the outside world in PC98, and the outside world in PC98 is not the real world like it is in Windows. It's some super advanced society which have proven the grand unified theory, which is just science bullshit, to being like, okay, they're so advanced they basically, like, discovered God or something, I don't fucking know. So they're really advanced, and they're so advanced that even though Yumemi's like 19, she's a college professor in sciences. Shit. But even though they discovered the grand unified theory, Yumemi's like, it's not unified or grand enough because it doesn't include magic, and magic's real, and I'm gonna prove it. And that's what Touhou 3 is about. Her and Chiari. How many times am I gonna fuck that? Chiari. They go into the Gensokyo to prove magic is real, and that's what the entirety of Touhou 3 is about. I think they make like they send out some pamphlets where it's like, come to our place, cool things will happen, so people go there. It's their advanced hyperspace vessel, which I guess is a ship that they drive or something with a crew of 2 people. I don't know. They probably have advanced robots to do it because they're so advanced and shit. And then they beat Yumemi, and Yumemi gives them like a prize at the end. She gives Reimu Rukuto. She gives Marissa Mimi-chan. And I don't remember what she does for anyone else. I think she gives Rikako a jetpack or something. And then the ending of the game is really bizarre because I think Yumemi like creates a clone of herself, and she has to beat her, and that's who you fight at the end of the game. And I've never seen that in anything ever. So did she kill her clone, or is it still there? There's still 2 Yumemis? I don't know. But anyway, then she goes back to the outside world to prove that magic exists, and she gets laughed at. And she loses her job because of that. So her and Chiari, they go back to Gensokyo, and they just live there, I guess. So whenever she appears in anything, it's just under the assumption. I guess they just go under the assumption that they just take Yumemi's backstory and just get rid of the whole like outside world's really advanced grand unified theory bullshit, and she's just like from the normal outside world, I guess, and now she lives in Gensokyo, and sometimes she appears and stuff, and she was in a Dongame X, I think. Right, that's the only game I can think of off the top of my head that she was in. But yeah, you know, out of the PC98 characters, she's definitely one of the better ones. But and she got red hair, you know, she got really nice red hair. It's like a giant. You can't really see it in the art. You can see it kind of here. It's like a giant braided ponytail. It's really nice. But yep. I already talked about Yomo, didn't I? Maternity. Probably very much one of the fairy characters. Very much feels like Zun was trying to do something with his character, and then he just kind of got bored and stopped. Because, like, when Eternity first shows up, she's from what I remember from the dialogue, it seemed to imply that her and Cherno were already friends. So, it seemed like Zun was trying to give Cherno another friend. And then, but there's also some weird lore stuff where apparently Eternity might be like a god or something, of like a worship by a cult or something lore. Apparently she's also related to Okina in some way that I can't remember. So yeah, all that lore for that character, and she has a secret. It's very important. I don't know what that secret is, but it's very important that you know she has a secret. And then in the fairy manga, you see her and she's there, and she's got like a little hidey hole that she sleeps in that Clownpiece discovers. So like she becomes friends with those fairies, and then she does this thing where she like takes Clownpiece's torch and uses it to like takes complete control of it and uses it to grow trees or whatever. It's like that happens and isn't brought up again. It's just something that happens where it's like, I guess he just wrote that to make speculation for this character, because he probably knew he was done writing her, because after that I think she shows up in the fairy manga again. I don't know if she talks, but I'm pretty sure she's there for the finale and stuff. But like, that's about it for this character. I don't think she's shown up since. So she's a very weird character because she has all this like weird backstory going for it, but like none of it is explained. It's very intentionally left vague. So, you know, there's potential that there could be a lot for this character, or it could mean nothing at all. But yeah, no, she's fine. I just like every other fairy in the series more. She's not sneaky. I already talked about you. I don't really need to do it again. Or I want to. Tsukasa. Very weird this character is. She's like the character from 18 that like took off as like the character everyone likes. I don't really know why. Her outfit is really goofy. She makes weird signs and stuff, but yeah, when it comes to 18, like, she was fine. She was like the shady character who would like, I guess she sort of works for Megamoo, but I guess not really. I mean, if she works for Megamoo, doesn't that mean she likes trying to plot her own downfall or something? Because that's what these foxes do. They're like really untrustworthy assholes who they'll like try to get you to follow their plans because they'll make you think you're gonna get what you want, but then they lead you to ruin at the end. So is that what she's doing with Megamoo? I don't know. Every single time I've seen her and Megamoo together, it's like she's just Megamoo's subordinate, like fucking Momiji is Aya, when I'm pretty sure it's not how it's supposed to be at all. Orin, can you not chew chords, please? That'd be great. That'd be great, Orin. My cat. His name's Orin. Likes to chew chords sometimes. What she does. Oh. But yeah, I don't know, this character didn't really seem like much in 18, but then she became really popular, and then she was in 19, and she was pretty great in 19 from remember. I mean, she was kind of like shit. Went around trying to start shady shit, and then apparently she hangs out with Sanai now, and in the end of her story, Zanmu was like, I need you to kill Reimu. And Tsukasa was like, huh? Okay. So she tries to do that because apparently Zanmu's like message to Reimu about whether something happens would be that she'd send an assassin after her. So yeah, Tsukasa tried to kill Reimu, I think. So she, you know, she's a bit evil, I guess. But like, I don't know. She did a really bad job at it. I don't think she was trying very hard. I think she was just doing it because she was told to. But then again, she is like a shady bitch, so maybe she is evil. But even she is, now she has to deal with Sanai. And, you know, that's probably a bad fate for someone like her. I already talked about you, didn't I? I think. Lyrica, I already talked about her hair and stuff. I already talked about the Prison Rivers quite a bit. I mean, there's not really much to say. She's the Prison River. She's the Prison River of by far the most dialogue because she's the playable one in 13, the 9. I mean, they're all playable in 9, but in order to get the other two, you have to do way too much shit. Can you stop? No? No, you're not gonna stop? No? Uh-huh. Why does the cat scratch the wall? Nobody knows why the cat scratches the wall, but I just have to sternly look at her and she knows not to scratch the wall again. But then she's gonna do it again later anyway, because cats are not very smart creatures. They're really not. We got 3 of them. They vary in how stupid they are, but none of them are smart. But yeah, Lyrica is Lyrica. She's my second favorite of the 3 because she plays an instrument that I tried to learn how to play once. I've always wondered when it comes to Lyrica's like keyboard, is it the type of keyboard that like has 50 million different buttons on it, where she can like change it to 50 million different midis if she wants to, or is it just a normal keyboard? I don't know. Very important questions. Talked about you two already. Takane. Takane's an interesting character to me because, you know, Notori is one of my favorite characters, and Takane is a very similar character to Notori, so how high should I put her then? Because, like, I like her a lot because she's like Notori, but also, like, do I really want to put her that high just because she's so similar to a character I already like? I don't know. But, you know, basically everything I have positive to say about Notori, I have to say about Takane as well. Except, you know, she doesn't get to show up as much like Notori does, so, you know, there's that. But, yeah, the thing about she's one of, like, the, like, more unique reveals of a character in a game, because the Yamawaru, they're, like, the Kappa, basically, the Kappa had a split at one point, where a group of them were, like, they don't want to live in the river, and they'd rather live in the mountains. And the Kappa did that, they left, and they're now called the Yamawaru. And that was a thing that I think was explained in the Kazen manga at some point, because it was talked about how, you know, they live in the mountain and they like to have like clay war fights or something. So they probably build some cool fake military shit. And it was one of the cooler moments of a character showing up because, you know, we played 18's demo and the second stage boss says, "Oh boy, it's a Yamawaru. Ain't that cool?" And yeah, it was pretty cool. And then Takane showed up, and yeah, she was in 18, but the thing about 18 is that the characters really didn't get to do much in 18 because the whole point of the game was that they sell cards, so every single character basically had the same ending, where it's like, alright, you beat me, wanna buy cards now? And then in 18.5, it's just the main villain. Because 18.5 plot is really jarring. It's 18.5, the plot of that game is that, you know, with Rainbow beating Shimada, the market's supposed to go away, but they're not going away, they're still there. Now they're black markets, and now they're being sold with shady currency. I think this was supposed to be a giant allegory about crypto scams or some bullshit, I don't know. Zun likes to do that, but he's not very direct about it, which is a good thing. So sometimes it's confusing. But yeah, you go as Marissa, and then you try to find out what's going on, and eventually Marissa confronts Shimada, and she's like, "What's going on?" And Shimada's like, "I know what's going on, but you gotta go talk to my ally to find out what's going on." So Marissa does, and it turns out her ally is Notori. Notori is there. She has new art, which Notori's art in that game is certainly something. And then Notori's like, alright, the Yamawaru behind this. Take this card to take down the Yamawaru. So you do. You go back to like stage 2 or something, and then you run into Takane, and then Takane's like, yeah, I'm behind this. Me and the Yamawaru were the ones selling the shady shit. And Marissa's like, alright, and then they fight. And then Takane's like, well, damn, I guess now that you beat us, we gotta stop. And Marissa's like, can you do it for a little bit longer, maybe? And she's like, what? And she's like, okay, I guess we'll continue doing this. And then it continues on for a while. And I guess by the time 19 happens, it's no longer happening. 18.5 story. It's fucking weird. But, Takane did stuff, I guess, so... I guess, out of the newer Touhou characters, she is one of the ones that actually got to do stuff. She's my most played character by far. By far in, the Hina game. Where you knock Hina down a hole. Love that game. Because Takane can, steal people's items, and that's fun. But, I don't know, Takane's probably gonna be pretty high. I'm not gonna put her, like, right next to Natori, but, like, Natori is gonna be, like, 2. And I don't like Takane that much, but, like, I like Takane a lot, but I don't want to put her right next to Natori, but, like, I like her a lot. I don't know. Well, we'll see. There's gonna be at least a couple characters between the two. Talked about Mima, didn't I? Kyoko is great. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. She's a Yamabiko. Those aren't technically dogs. If you look at a picture of one, they look like weird, like, fucking canine ape combination creatures. They look really fucking weird. But Zun just made Kyoko a dog. So Kyoko's a dog. Look at her goofy fucking ears. Right, the unfortunate thing about Kyoko is that, she's part of the Myoran gang, but she was introduced in 13 and not 12. And for some reason, because of that, she just, in a lot of the shit where the Myoran gang appears, she just doesn't. It's mostly the stuff that was made before 13. I can understand why it's there, but even like far since then, a lot of times Kyoko just doesn't show up and stuff at the Myoran temple, and she's like, why isn't she there? She's the best one. But yeah, Kyoko is great because, the whole, like, rock band thing with her and Mistia. She's friends with Mistia, and they have a rock band where they yell about society or something. Cause, Kyoko, she has problems with society or something, I don't know. I think she's overworked or something. I think that's a plot point, but she's still pretty happy about it. But she yells about her rage and her punk rock stuff. I don't know. What is Mistia yelling about in her punk rock stuff? I don't know. It's very silly, but she also goes. She sweeps around the temple, and she likes to yell because this whole thing about Yamabiko is that they like yelling, and that they're like going extinct because even in Gensokyo people realize that the reason their echoes, things echo, is due to how sound works, and not because the Yamabiko is yelling back at them, because Yamabiko are based off, like, the superstition of why that happens. And again, that's another thing in Touhou lore that doesn't make any fucking sense, where, see, the reason why yokai disappear is because human beings came up with logical explanations for why these things happen. Except they're not logical explanations, if they were quite literally the reason it happened in the first place. There was literally Yamabiko that would yell back at you. So why are they like, oh, that's not actually how it works, it has to do with science, like we did in the real life? But we did in real life because in real life, this fucking character isn't real. But it's just a thing with Touhou where the lore isn't making fucking sense, you just have to ignore it. Where it's like, I was playing Pokemon the other day. I think I said something similar to this too. I think it's ridiculous in fictional settings where, like, ghosts and, like, the afterlife and shit is very obviously real. It's fucking everywhere, like in Pokemon, where there are ghost-type Pokemon, and yet, despite that fact, you still have characters that are like, I don't know, I'm superstitious. I don't know if that's real. It's like, this isn't real life. There's a very good fucking reason why not everyone believes in ghosts and stuff. In this fucking fictional universe you've created where ghosts are everywhere, having a person act like that is ridiculous. And it's the thing with Touhou where it's like, okay, so all of these fictional beings and stuff, they are literally real, because the thing about Touhou is human belief creates things or something. It's literal magical thinking. The entire crux of Touhou is magical thinking. So they're real. So if they can literally see them, why are they suddenly acting like they're not real when they're right in front of their face? It just doesn't make any sense. sense. Tollor's a fucking mess. But anyway, Kyoko, great. Sorry, Kyoko, I'm sorry I ranted about boring, stupid shit when I could be talking about how great you are. Again, another example of I like this character a lot, but I don't really have much to say. Love this character. I already talked about these two, didn't I? Are we finally getting to the point where I can stop talking? Have I talked about... I haven't talked about everyone. I think I've talked about most people at this point. I think... Do I like a rat or a judge? I like the rat. Like the judge. You. Oh my god. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Oh my god, we're getting somewhere. Have I talked about everyone? I think I have. Well, not everyone. No one's shown up yet. Kitty, what are you doing? 21%. We might actually be going somewhere after so long. Which of these two will I like more? You. Alright, I think I'm done. I think I can actually continue with my life now. Seems to be. I've talked about everyone here. Right. I don't have anything to say, really. I wonder what music I'll put at this point. Who knows? Yep. That took, so about 6 hours? And now we're at the part that doesn't matter that much. Yeah, I think we talked about everyone. Seems to be the case here. You. Yep. Nobody knew. Showing up, finally done it. Now I don't even have any. What do I even talk about at this point? The thing is, I don't really want to talk, because if I talk, I'll probably choose an option I didn't mean to choose on accident. Yeah, when I did the Lenin sorter the other week, I accidentally picked Klaus over Subakura, and that caused Subakura to be like 5 places away from where they're supposed to be. So I'll try to not do something like that, because that'll happen with these sorters sometimes. I think it happens anyway, like, because I think the sorting's kind of weird. I think some of the results are off no matter what you do. But even then, you're probably going to make some decisions without thinking. That's just going to make it so much worse. This is interesting. One of these two. Sanzo River character. Kitty? Yep, right. Yep, he'll just do this for like minutes on end. He just won't shut up. It's like the middle of the night too. My other two cats don't do this, but this kitten, he really is something. God, I don't know. You're more interesting. Probably you. You. You're not a missile. Can you stop? Like, well, you're just sitting there. You're not even doing anything. You're just whining for the sake of whining. I don't know. You. You. Probably you. You. I really turn the background music up at this point, because I have nothing to say. Quite weird how that works, huh? I talk non-stop for 6 hours. maybe 5 hours. I think it was 6. Let me 3.5 hours, then 2 hours. And yeah, that's 6 hours. I yapped for 6 goddamn hours. Now I have nothing to say. What do I like more? Probably overall you. You're making me rank the fairies already, huh? Probably you. Ghost and Ghost. Go to Ghostbusters. You know, edited fucking Joel's Super Ghostbusters stuff when I talked about this character, because this character doesn't have a theme. I had to do that a couple times. I tried to make the character's theme play when the character showed up, but some characters don't have themes. And some characters, I really didn't feel like going and grabbing them. I think Kassen's theme, I think I put some Yakuza music over it. When I do this, I'm probably not gonna include any of the music in the description, because that would take fucking forever, so I'm just probably gonna be like, the majority of this music is from the Touhou games and the CDs, and just, I'm not listing all the music, because that would take forever. Are you a literal Who character? Sort of. Yeah. Battle of the Gods here, isn't it? You better design. You're not 3 eyeballs. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Which of these two do I like more? Probably. Yeah, Shingoku Male. What a filler character that is. Why isn't the orb its own character? Like, you have a giant eyeball and a fucking ICBM as a character, but the orb version of the male and female character you've already included? That's not... it's too much? Where's you have a 3D printed gun, so there you go. You. Yes, you. Definitely you. You're a Little Who character. I'll put Yorihime above a couple of the Little Who characters, because, I said earlier, I've seen some cool boss fights with her. You ultimately lose those boss fights because she wasn't really trying, but fucking whatever. Do I like the dancers above her? Honestly, probably. I'm curious to know where the dancers end up, because if they don't end up being directly compared, I've seen some wild results with those two, because they're like the same character, and they'll be like 15 places apart. I think a rat so we can mark. Like the rat. Orange is nothing. Okay, this is interesting. Our workshop day is 2. You see how we're just like flying here? Wonder how much longer it'll be at this point. Out of these two, which do I like more? Probably Alice. Definitely you. You've got a bit more to you. Ben. Ben has a funny name, and that's about it. I mean, you at least have lore, even if it's not utilized very interestingly. I'm currently using a Kazuma in Pokemon, so there's that. You... You. 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 I don't like you around me. You. These two. You. 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 Don't squeeze barely anything. Sorry, it was nothing. These two. You. 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 Very exciting commentary. Once we've gotten this far, huh? You. 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 There's gonna be a lot of yous. You could have been something. You at least have dialogue. You're not stupid. These two. Okay. Ooh. You. 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 Yeah. Fine. My at least went away. These two. Oh, you. 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 Another you. Definitely you. Sure. Yep. Yeah, definitely you. Uh-huh. Really? Really? Uh-huh. Do I need to pick you up just so you'll shut up? Here's a gun. I got him right now. Maybe I she'll shut up. Who knows? I know. Actually, honestly, yeah. You. 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 Kind of goes at least with other characters that I like more. You're better than a missile. You're better than a missile. It's the, VG. Then, probably you. Probably you. 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 Did I press undo? I think I did. You. 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 Mostly you. I really don't like Yuki that much. Fine. A bit more than that. Your giant robot. Giant robot's fucking cool. You had dialogue in the game. I can hear the cat purring. He's doing it very loudly. You. 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 Where are you going, kitty? You wanna go somewhere? Wanna go somewhere? I just do that. This is two turtles. You. You. Definitely you. Kari or you maybe. Probably Kari. You. You. Definitely you. Where are you going, kitty? Where are you? What are you doing? You. 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 Again, you're literal Who characters, these two. And you dress like a maid because you're a fucking weirdo. So there's that personality trait. You. 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 You work for this one. Let me like you a bit more. Tenchi's in more fan game stuff. No, fucking the literal Touhou characters from 18. Your cat. You know, terribly written character. Actually, honest to God, no. I gave you a stupid Toad voice. I is not behind you, is you? Is that? Are you? That wouldn't make any sense. Hopefully not. Been a while since I saw your face. Adori, monkey, Hina. Yeah, Yep, as soon as yep, he's just gonna walk over there. God, I hope his kitten God, I hope his kitten fucking grows out of this. What? You. You. These two. You. 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 Bunny or bunny? Oh, fine. Renko, where do I put Renko? Do I like Renko more than the zombie? Sure. Don't want a catfish. I like more like catfish. I like catfish more than you. You want a mirror? I don't know. You have red hair. Jason, Kogasa, Futo, Futsuho, Satori, Lily, Laundry, Jen, Gari, Igu, Marcy, Mamzo, Heja, Fish, Lunasa, you. Oh, I don't know. Sure. Okay, Rainbow. Clown. Mailing. Like you. Okay. Look how similar these characters look. Blonde, short hair, long, big old hats. I don't know. Sunny milk, indeed. It's you. 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 You're funny. Sure. 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 We have dialogue. I'm not putting the fucking missile above, like, barely anyone except for the characters I actually really hate. You. You. Probably you. Probably you. Sure. You. Who? Probably you. Probably you. Sonya's not a massive fucking kick-ass robot. Where's fairies? The two fairies are next to each other. Where's the third one? Alright. This question. Who of these two do I like more? Probably you. You. Probably you. Probably you. Sure. Yumeki's not a literal Who character, and neither is New, or neither is... No, I don't like Aaron that much. Fine. Okay, actually, I don't know. I always normally like a third when I do these. She's probably very high. Will she be very high this time? I really like Kyoko. Yeah. These two. Oh, you. 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 Yukari, that's the joke. Do I like Nemo more than Yukari? Nah. Sure. Do I want to stoop that low? Who do I put the other dancer ahead of? I don't know. This is the problem with these two. I'm very curious where these two are going to end up. Because it's like, you kind of like contradict yourself when you do so many of these things. And when you have characters that are basically the same like the dancers, it really goes to show how inconsistent you are. Fine. Dory. Dorin. Okay, like Sakia or the monkey more? Never go wrong with old Sakia. Oh, Alice is great. I like the monkey or Byakuran more. Monkey. Byakuran, Hina, Rat, Kane. Kuna or Suika? Well. Wriggle. Honestly, you. Probably you. Probably you. Probably you. Bit more. Bit more. You. Fine. You. 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 Not a catfish. Not fish. I think Aya's fucked. I think Aya's a lot lower than she's supposed to be right now. I don't know what choice I made for that. Why the hell Aya is under race? Did I click Aya instead of race? Did I click race instead of Aya? I think I did. Fuck. I don't hate Aya that much, but I think Aya is kind of fucked in a sort of. Whoops. Oh, now the hair color's not helping you here, is it? On... Like rainbow racing one. Probably rainbow. Racing. Right. I like the fairies or Kokoska more. Probably the fairies. I like Kokoska a bit more than mailing. I like mailing a bit more than Fudo. I like Fudo more than Aku. I like Aki more than Utsu. I like Goku more than Renosuke at this point. But I probably like Renosuke more than Story. And I like you more than you. I don't know. Fine. You. 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 You're Maribel, right? I probably fucked that up. At some point. Why are you even? What are you doing? What noise even is that? Oh my god, this cat. He just doesn't shut up. Why won't he shut up? I don't know. Stupid kitty cat. Why does he never shut up? He never shuts up. Why does he never shut up? I don't understand. Why he won't shut up? He just won't. I won't. Mm-hmm. I have nothing to say at this point. The cat. Hold on a minute. Yep, you don't have the stupidest ability in the series, so there you go. Alright, these two. This is, Oh. You at least don't show up much. You. Fairies. You. 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 Probably you. Probably you. 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 Spider. You. You. See, look how fast it's going. It's at 700 and something, we're now at 600 and something, although it only equates to 68%, which means we're going to go up to 1,000, which is not what 700 and something means. I didn't say that. You'll get up to 700 plus picks, a lot more than 700. If 63, 80, only 68%. You. Honestly, you. Probably you. 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 You at least talk. You're at least a character. You're at least sentient. Well then. You're... Sure. Alright, Kyoko or Marissa? Fuck you. Alright, these two. I think it's you. I like talking to everyone in the fairies. No. Lulu. Give you Kari, remember that. Probably you. Probably you. You, I guess. Turtle. Fine. Fine. Piss me off this year new. Ugh. Well then. Yep. Double design. I wouldn't be that mean. You're a dude. Alright, this is the top here. Rainbow. Rabbit. Yeah. Lily. Fine. Do chicken. Judge. You. Your Maribel. Remember that. Why did I do this joke? Your Maribel. Remember that. Right. There, they should be next to each other. Nearing the end of the world as we know it. Very, very slowly nearing the end here. Do I want to stoop that low? Do I really want to stoop that low? I don't really care about Zanwa at all. Seems good. Yeah, I is fucked. I is not supposed to be down here. Oh well. Unless that's the start of a different, that might be the start of a different thing, because like, why would Mayumi be down here? Unless I really did fuck up and click race at the wrong part. That would be unfortunate. Oh no, man. Oh, real big hitters here. Dog, like, what do I say to these things? What do you want to say to what I'm looking at here? Oh boy, what? At least fan stuff normally ignores your terrible aspects. It's on full display for her. Alright, here we go. Doot, 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 doot. Bit more. You. 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 Probably you. 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 Probably you. These two. Probably you. 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 Yukari, remember that? You. 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 Fire. I'm not even talking at this point. I don't know. Fine. Fine. I wouldn't consider Unzon a literally blue character. Wouldn't consider you one either. You kinda are. Fucking just undo everything I just did. Oh boy, 3 eyeballs or 1 giant eyeball? How about 3 eyeballs? 3 are better than 1, as one would say. Well, here's a question. You. Here's another question. Another question indeed. You. 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 Hello, you. Hello, you. 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 Hello, you. 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 Hina or the wolf? Wolf. We go. Hina. Hoku. Yuma. Hero. Pink hair, pink hair. I like. I'm not talking at this point. I have to think, we are getting near the end. Thank God I'm actually finishing this today. Do. Chicken. Judge. You. You. W. You. 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 Duh. Sparkers was annoying. Oh boy, these two. I don't know. You, I guess. Oh, yeah, these two. You, I guess. You. 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 Also you. 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 Sure. Whatever. Why not? Go there. Right? Yeah, robot. Nope. Fine. Whatever. Whatever you say. There you go. Stinky. Whatever. We're really getting to heavy hitters here, aren't we? Fine. Whatever. Yeah, I just fucked. Sorry. Like, Mayumi is too. Oh well. Sworder's kind of fucked sometimes. What can I say? Whatever. Do I? Sure, whatever. Whatever. Dead. Alright, so that took, what, 3.5, 5.5, almost 7 hours? Jesus, Christmas. Okay, so, guess from the top you got On. No surprise there, you got Natori. You got these two. I like these two a lot. You got Marissa. You got Yomu. She's a bit lower than normal. She's normally about right here, but you know, I like these three quite a bit. You got Reimu. Got Raisin. You got Rin. And then you got a bunch of fairies. You got Kogasa and Takane and Meiling, Zakia and Zaki and Alice and Nagnoko and Futo and Kozuzo and Biten and Petchuli and Byakrin and all that. And then at the very bottom, you know, you've got Okina. I don't like Okina. And then you got Sagame. Sagame's ability's stupid, and she's barely a character. She barely talks. And then you know Toyohime. Yeah, mine's a bitch. Mine fucking sucks. Because barely anything, and what you have is terrible. Army tried to kill Marissa. Marissa's over here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Right, where's Aya? Where the hell did Aya end up? Right, 137th. Okay, clearly a misclick happened here. Also here. Mayumi's not supposed to be down here. Again, the fucking sorter. Every now and then you click the wrong thing. And, yeah, shit happens. Because, like, they're above characters like fucking Zanmu and Eric, characters I do not like. Where the dancers end up. I want to know how far away from each other they are. That's the funny thing, because they're the same character. So notice here. 115. Where is she? 107 and 115. They were 8 places apart. But, yeah, this was mainly just an excuse for me to talk about characters, and then the actual sorter itself, you know, it's accurate probably up for the last 20 or so, for the first 20 or so, and, like, the last, like, 10 or so, but, like, you have shit like this, where it's like, clearly a mistake was made here, and I didn't click it, and I didn't choose it correctly. Aya probably should be around, like, fucking here. Then Mayumi should at least be around, like, here, not back here. I don't dislike Mayumi at all. But, yep, that was that. That took, damn near 7 hours, and, but, you know, it was something. It's gonna take forever to edit this, and I don't know, I still haven't decided whether it's going to be one giant video, or, like, 2 videos. I don't know. I'll see, but, if anyone, literally anyone, happens to get this far enough in here, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed, and, I'll see you for whatever I do next. Bye.